Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you today about Married at First Sight. Why do I feel like I'm doing one of those meme TikToks? But we're talking to you guys about Married at First Sight, and we're dealing specifically with episode 7. Listen, it's crazy. This episode was wavy. So many different things were happening. We saw Justin and his dog. Justin and his dog, you know. My man and his dog. Him and Maya, you know, running into the sunset. To a dog kennel. Anyway, listen, there was Justin and Alexis. There was, the fact that, Miguel and Lindy seem to be kicking off like a storm, but Lindy doesn't want to talk about certain things that trigger her, like Decision Day, which is going to happen anyway, regardless. But anyway, we also get Binh and Morgan, and finally, some walls are coming down, and I can see that these two may potentially have the longevity if these walls can stay down. We also had as well Nate and Stasia. Apparently, the combined amount of money they make in their household is like 565k. They're like on 500,000. Okay, 500,000 together, supposedly. Okay, and finally, obviously, Mitch and Kristen, they finally consummated the marriage, but they're not thinking anything more than a day ahead. We wonder. Because, there's a lot going on right now. So listen, we going to talk about it all. We appreciate you guys coming through. As always, as well, guys, we look forward to speaking, about, Married at First Sight. I'm going to put the link in the chat as well. So if you do guys want to join the conversation, want to have your say, I'm going to put the link in the chat. You can jump in. Again, if I don't know you and you've never been up here with your camera on, I am going to ask you to put your camera on. If you can't, please don't bother coming up. No point. All right? But we look forward to having, guys today and conversating about the show as well. But again, if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor. Like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys because we like to serve you as well. And listen, if you're a returnee, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets are hot. Let me grab my water because it's hot tonight. Okay. Okay. Cool. Some of you are asking, what is this satin shirt? Listen, I just picked it out of the cupboard. I was like, let me just bring this out. Let me bring these babies out, baby. All right, cool. Listen. Sensual seduction. Ooh, sensual seduction. Sensual. Oh, sensual. Okay. Anyway, listen, let me just quickly give a quick rundown because there was a lot of things going on. All right, listen.
I just need you to keep your word because you said if it doesn't work out, you send it in. I know that's your baby. But you said it to me. I need you to keep your word, okay?
Quick rundown now. Yeah, listen, it was crazy because...
What's going on?
Sorry about that. It's crazy because we had, obviously, Justin basically said he will give away Maya. He will give away Maya if he needs to give her away. And then at the last minute, he's like, no. It's not that simple. I can't just give her away. I can't just give my dog away. That's like my child. I said, oh, okay, cool. This might be this might be their first contention, because people were saying that marriage is easy. What's the difficulty people are facing? Well, this is the difficulty people are facing. It's not as simple as you thought it was. So we got to see that little part with, particular, Alexis and Justin as well. Listen, I want to play.
What's going on? Well, one, I feel like a crabby owner for sure.
Tears rolling down your face. Girl, I got the answer, let me take it away. Girl, you got them tears rolling down your face. Oh, that note was off. Anyway, you know what I was saying. Anyway, listen, I tried the note and it didn't go anywhere. But you knew what I was saying, the tears rolling down your face. By the way, listen, too many tears from Justin. We're tired, bro. Be tired. My internet's trying to move me mad. All day my internet's moving me mad. I don't know what's going on with my thing. I'll be clicking on things I don't mean to click on. Anyway, listen, let me move on quickly to Lindy and Miguel as well, because they spoke about things, and I think we need to discuss this.
Or if you do feel like you're not connected to me, I need you to stay sturdy and not tell me that.
I wish I could say yes.
Yeah, so she's obviously claiming, saying that, you know what, she's gonna struggle to, struggle to actually be able to function, because he tells her things and she feels like it's triggering, and she feels like she can't, she feels like, oh, it's too much for her. And I'm just like, yo, babe, listen, everything can't be a trigger. Like, sis, I need you to fix up. Everything cannot be a trigger. Like, I need you to understand that when you just because you don't feel no way, not just because just because you feel away, doesn't mean the other person's gonna feel away. Like, babe, I need you to actually really deep, like, there has to be conversations. You cannot hide and bury your head in these situations. Like, you have to face them head on. So yeah, she said she said stay sturdy. Stay sturdy. Niggas trying to get at me. All right, let me stop that. All right, listen. Cool. That was Miguel and Lindy as well. Really quickly, let's talk a little bit. Also about Mitch and Kristen, because they said this.
We're still taking it day by day. Like, we're not at the point yet where we're like making like lifetime plans.
But you are making plans beyond 8 weeks.
No.
Not quite
not
yet.
Us, no.
So we out here sexing, but not talking about the future. Y'all really want to be in a situationship, in a marriage. Okay, you lot are trying your hardest to be in a situationship in your marriage. I need you to understand that we got to talk about the future. If we're really trying to be in a relationship, okay, if we're really trying to be in a relationship, I need you to understand we're going to have to talk about the future. The future cannot be something that we don't talk about. The future is us, okay? All right? The future is us. You're absolutely right. Dressed like a bad boy from the 90s. You already know what it is, okay? All right? You know, I'll be singing tenor as well in the band as well. Don't worry about it. Kojo to men. Do you get me? But, honestly, it's like, why are we not talking about future, but we're out here sexing? And I feel bad. I feel some disingenuous vibes from Mitch. It's getting better. A relationship's getting so much, but you don't like pressure. You don't like talking about the future. It's like, bro, like, you're gonna have to talk eventually. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stay in this place of we're taking it day by day. No, take it day by day. But, sir, what about the future? Okay? Right? What about the future? You know what I'm saying? All right? Listen, they should call me Kojo Town. You know what I'm saying? Instead of H-Town, K-Town. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Somebody's knocking the boots. Hey. Anyway, listen, let me be serious. Okay, back on to Binh and Morgan, because someone said they want the lights off.
I got you.
And like the same with like funky things. Like,
are we gonna have to unplug things after 4?
if you can.
What things in this apartment would you like unplugged after 4 p.m.?
The gaming system.
Okay, so we've got Binh and Morgan. They want the lights off. They want the lights off. Because he can't afford to pay the bills if you work and you use electricity between 4 and 6 p.m. because that's when there's a greater surge and charge on them times. Listen, I'm all for saving money. But sir, I feel like this is a tad bit too far. I feel like it's just a little bit overkill, just a little bit overdoing, and just a little bit, that you're kind of cooking it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of cooking it a little bit, like, bro, like. You need to relax the reins a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Relax the reins a little bit. So that's another conversation for itself again. And then finally, we'll deal with this, because let me just say this now for free. The Mafs ain't mathing here right now. But you know what? If this was a 90s R&B song, baby, I want to give you $700 worth of coffee. Okay, that's not working. It's not working. Let's go in.
Investment.
Okay.
You go to a high-end coffee shop like every day. You drink coffee every day.
Yeah.
So let's just round up. $6 for a latte, and you drink coffee every day. So we're looking at around $200 a month. So you're spending $2,400 on
coffee. The math was not mathing. I don't know anyone else, but the math was not mathing. Was the math mathing? The math wasn't mathing. Bro, if you calculated what you calculated, she's in the right. I'm sorry. That kind of argument is nuts to me. Like, the math was really not mathing, right? Bro, the math was not mathing. Honestly, it wasn't. How you calculate that something is going to be worth 1,000, 1,100, whatever, 1,200 maximum per the month, yeah? And then you calculate the fact that she would spend 2,400 on coffees alone. Bro, where's the math? Okay, where's the math? All right, where's the math? I was like, sir, the math is not mathing. You know? She can afford 700. Yeah, she can afford 700. I'm just wondering why she hasn't bought it already. But she can afford 700. Why does she not buy it beforehand? But I hate what you're saying. My only thing about that 700 thing is this. Are you going to use it every day? I'm not saying she doesn't have a coffee every day. But when you go out, are you going to do a coffee? Are you going to buy coffee out there as well? Because then you literally, finish the whole thing. But in all honesty, it don't really make a difference. If her salary's correct, she makes enough money. She makes enough money. So all that needs to happen is sit down, budget it real quick, be like, yeah, 700 is in my budget, we can do it. But when he calculated it and tried to be smart about it, there was no need. Because he was wrong. He was wrong. The maths was not matting out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? The maths wasn't matting. Okay? Coffee in the morning, coffee in the evening. I'ma have some coffee. No, let me not. All right, cool. All right, cool. Listen, let me listen. Again, if you want to be part of the conversation, I'm gonna get some super panelists on as well. But you want to be part of the conversation, you can use a link that's in the chat. I'm gonna just put it up. But I'm gonna get some people to come on now as well. Okay, let's go. All right, I'm gonna get Sean to come on in a second then. And yes, Crystal, yes, good to see you as well. Good to see you behind as well. Let me put my headphones in because there's coffee in the morning and in the evening. All right, cool. Listen. Hello, Crystal. How you doing, Chris? How you doing, baby? All right.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
okay,
good.
I have a question. Are you wearing Jodeci boots right now?
You know what? I'm wearing Jodeci shorts. That's what I'm wearing. Okay? Not the boots. But we're wearing the shorts. Them grey shorts, baby. Okay? All right?
I got you.
Hoochie daddy shorts.
Yeah,
okay?
the hoochie daddy shorts. I got you.
I don't know why they call it. I don't know why they call it hoochie. It should be who's your daddy shorts. That's what you call it. Who's your daddy shorts? That's what you call it. Okay, that's what I got on. Who's your daddy shorts?
That's who.
Okay, that says who it is. All right. But yeah, Crystal, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts to this episode, just first and foremost?
First, same as everybody. Justin needs to stop crying. Just stop crying. Just stop crying. I think that Mavs was wrong for them showing the picture of the kennel. A lot of people are not dog parents, but that was wrong. They had plenty of dogs go for training, and to show it, that was really kind of sad. I agree with you on Mitch. There's something else. I just don't like him as a person. Like, I have really good intuition about people. Like, there's just something up there. Also, I wasn't surprised about how he was living. In San Diego, he wants to live on the beach. That's a beach shanty. That's he lives like a slob. That's it. He doesn't care. He surfs all day. He picks up trash, and calls himself an environmentalist. But yeah, if he's such an environmentalist, why couldn't he clean up his own house? That's your environment. That's his main environment. So yeah, there's a lot. And Stasha, if you make that much money, you should have bought that espresso machine before you even went on Mavs. A lot of their segment, I started to side eye, like, was this production? Because did you say you wanted an espresso machine and they said wait till you would see what your husband says? Because that was silly. And then because his when she went looking in the cupboards, to me, I said he lives like a bachelor. I mean, his house was much better than Justin's and way better than what's his name, Mitch's. So I said, she walked in, she was fine. And then all of a sudden, it was like an edit. And then all of a sudden, she started looking through the cupboards and just taking everything down.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is real sketchy. Because she was like, it's messy, but it's not bad. It's like, there's like a guy like me. I have 3 brothers. I was like, it's not filthy. It's not like, it's not. So there was a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, there was a little,
that was sketchy.
She went into the cupboards and started taking stuff down. I was like, baby, what you doing?
And she just got aggressive really quickly, because first she was laying on the bed with her shoes on and the whole thing. and now she's upset.
Listen, that was my first side eye when I saw that. I said, baby, you out here dusting and stuff, but your foot is on the bed.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
And they're right. She lives like she lives in a hotel. Like, I don't understand that. And I like presentation too, but that little secretary or that little diner thing or whatever on her bed, I was like, this is where you sleep, right? That made no sense to me. So.
Yeah, when she had that too, I started thinking to myself, the real owners come back.
Yeah. Also, you know what? I am giving Nate some credit here because that apartment in downtown San Diego, that's a pretty penny. That's a lot. That's not cheap. So I'm going to refrain from calling him a Dusty just yet. I don't know where he's making his money or how he's making it. And I do get that 415 and 150 is a big gap, but he can do good on 150 in San Diego. So
yeah, that's not. I don't think that's bad either.
I'm actually real sorry.
Go for it.
Yeah. The Justin, I was like, what are you live in an efficiency? And his house was so tiny and he's 6'8". It was just so much, I'm a dog mom too. One, I don't understand him living with both those animals in that small place, right? But two, I do think that he did, I don't want to say lie, but yeah, he did lie. His dog was about to lunge. His dog was growling. Like I said, this dog is about to do something, Justin. And that's why he kept the dog on a leash and she let her dog roam around. I said, he's watching his dog because this sounds very sketchy. And then when it happened, he also needs to learn boundaries. When he said, I don't want to go. I mean, no, he asked, do you want me to go with you? Can I go with you? No, he said, can I go with you? And she said, mm-mm. I said, you need to let her do it. You need to let her cool off. She's angry, meaning vacation braids. Let her cool off and you stay here with the pets. The fact that he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and really made it about him. It's a lot.
It was a lot. Can't lie on that. Can't lie to you on that. All right, let's roll through a few of the clips. I know some other people will join us a little bit later, but we can roll through the clips. Let's start first and foremost with Mitch and Kristen. We'll start with Mitch and Kristen first and foremost. Yeah, he put a dog in the closet. That was peak as well. That was... man, it was a bit much still. But let's talk about Mitch and Kristen for now. Mitch and Kristen, because they had an interesting situation. They found some things on the floor.
What? Oh. Remember the honeymoon suite when there was like a bowl of condoms?
Yeah.
I definitely took some.
Okay. That's interesting.
So,
Mitch and Kristen, what was your thoughts here with Mitch and Kristen about them, talking about this condom situation, condoms?
I think that he doesn't care about this girl. He doesn't like her. He's not attracted to her. And he's trying to, as he said, turn a corner because of her reactions and stuff like that. But what I don't understand is, what is it about with these women, all of these seasons, when the guy's not attracted, when the guy doesn't like them as much, they're the ones that dive in.
Oh, sorry. I'll get you off there. That's my bad.
Shower the man with love and say and give him sex coupons and all the things. Stop. And I'm usually the one that's like, I'm not gonna say pick me, Sha. I'm not gonna say what do you call it, Dusty. But girl, you real thirsty right now, and I don't understand it. So I just really want her to find her self-worth, and I just don't. What's his name? Mitch is just. It's just yuck. He's just yuck. Yeah.
I hear. Sean, what was your thoughts? We just played a clip of Mitch finding condoms on the floor. What was your kind of thoughts of Mitch?
Listen, they were ready. With the Kevin Campbell song, they were ready, So listen.
Can we talk?
Yeah. They're grown. And you know, it ain't gonna go nowhere. But you know, listen, they're gonna have a good time. They're here for a good time, not a long time. 'Cause that ain't going nowhere.
Do you think that Kristen is? Do you think Kristen is forcing the situation, or do you think Mitch is driving there, especially the sex part?
I think she's putting a little 10 on too. And I also feel like she's just so happy to get a little bit of attention, right? So I would be so cautious. I would be more cautious rather for somebody who recently changed their mind. So it's like he did a 180. So for me, it just would, you know, I wouldn't be so open to, you know, just going all the way. But I think she was just ready, and she was looking for any little sign, any little inkling. She's like, "Yep, I'm ready to go."
I'm ready.
They said they think I have tattoos. You know, I'm just trying to match. I was trying to match some of the sexy vibes. You know, you're throwing out the silk shirts. We trying to sell tickets out here, folks. Listen, the site Event Noir is about to go out. We trying to sell tickets. We got to do what we can. You know,
Sun's
out, guns out.
That's it, my brother. Tell them again, sir. Tell them again, sir. Go for it, Crystal. We gonna announce that. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, Sean, what about last episode when she said I'm in charge and I'm running things this time. So now she feels like it's okay, because she has manufactured the intimacy. Do you think that's why she was like so eager? Go ahead.
I mean, I think they were probably playing a little cat and mouse game, which is fine with dating, right? You know, I want you today, you say no. Now, you know, I keep persisting, and now, you know, you're gonna say yes finally. But at the end of the day, we know who's calling the shots, and it's Mitch. So I think like she felt a little power because, you know, she took a step back, but I think at the end of the day, I don't see it lasting, and I'm not so sure what she's so enamored by, you know, with Mitch. Not at all. There's dust abounds in this particular season of Mafs.
I'm hearing you on that, bro. Hearing you on that. Let's click on another thing that actually.
Obviously, it's falling apart. My stove's kind of gross.
Question: when's the last time you used this bad boy?
I mean, you can tell it gets used a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I will not be happy.
Bad boy was doing what bad boy things do, boy. That stove was looking ready to cook a good, decent grub meal. That stove looks like it's cooked some delectables on there before. You know what I mean? That stove looks like it's ready to cook up a storm. That's what your mama's cooking's on that kind of thing. That's just you know what I'm saying? Just the grace of that. You know what I'm saying? Just looks beautiful, man. You know, if you cook a dirty burger on that, you can just tell it's gonna be full of the juices on there. Crystal, what's the face for?
Mitch is filthy, and I know that bathroom stinks. I know it stinks. And I'm from San Diego. Like, he took that wetsuit off and he threw it across the rack with the wet, dirty towels, and then he left it for a week while he was in his honeymoon. And those type of guys are those beachcombers that they surf all day. They just want an apartment near the beach. And earlier I said to someone else that apartment was about $1,500. I think it was probably more just because of the view, just because it was probably walking distance to the beach. But yeah, and it's nothing. And honestly, and I say it's more because it's a one bedroom, but he made his one bedroom like a trash den. But I've seen apartments like that in San Diego, and yeah, it's just filthy. And that's how I'm not surprised he has these relationships, and he moves from one woman to another, to another, to another. And when he shows his true colors come out, then he moves on. That's why. It's just And then she wants to sleep with him afterwards.
What do you say, Sean?
That stove looks like it wasn't ready to give nothing but bacterial infections. So trichinosis, E. coli, that's about all that stove was giving. So that was gross. And that freaking bathtub,
the bathroom
looked like hell on earth. It doesn't even look like he bathed in it. And then he said that he washes his plants in his bathtub. Come on, bro. Like really. And the bottom of his feet looks like he's just walking all across the floor. He doesn't, those Air Jesus 3000s, they kick up all the dust. So yeah, all of these people were really disturbing me. And I mean, I'm not like a super OCD person, but I have a big issue with outside clothes on the bed. Like, I just don't do that. I had so many arguments with my roommate in college because, his friends would come over or people would come over and they would sit on my bed. And when you're in college, like, your room is but so small and there's not too many places to sit. And I still was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna just be sitting on my bed. You're gonna sit on this desk chair, or sit on his bed. I think that is absolutely, bar none, disgusting. These couples have laid in a bed with their street clothes. I mean, they just came off of an airplane. The grossest traveling bacterial trash can place you can be. I wish I would lay up in a bed, anybody's bed, after just getting off an airplane. I think that's so gross. And for me, that says it all. It's like there's no limits. But yeah, the grossness, the filth, and at least him and Kristen took a bath before they got into it. That was the one perk.
I think that was her plan. I said, "Oh no, this is how we're gonna start the show. Right here in this room, bathroom." Also, with the bottom of his feet and everything, and he's what do you call it? Environmentalist. I don't think he showers every day. I don't think he showers often. Like, he's probably thinking it's conserving water. It's not. Take a shower. Clean yourself.
I hate you still.
Our journey even more because it's unique and different and not perfect than I would if we were just like instantly perfect and there was no hard times. Like, that's not the journey that I want and that I think is right for us. So
I want to ask this question. Is Kristen delusional? Because every day, not you two's faces, is that every day she's able to encourage the relationship is going. I mean, she's got more encouragement than a pastor on the pulpit. Like, honestly, she'd be encouraging the situation even when it's going down. I'm sure if she was on Titanic, she'll be encouraging people that the ship, there's still a chance for survival. Honestly, the way she is so optimistic about their situation. What was your thoughts to that regard of their conversation? I'm gonna let Sean go for this one first. Go for it, Sean.
Yeah, I think this is just, she lives in La La Land. And then that comment, I'm glad it worked out this way. I wouldn't have wanted it easy. Ma'am, like, struggle, love, like, and it's not to say that it's gonna be all sunshine and rainbows. I know that, we've said that often. But what my issue is you had some really substantial issues with the person that you were with. Not, why are you listening to Jay? Don't be following Jay's instructions, Kojo. You are corruptible.
I didn't want to see the jealousy story.
So she want to see something. I was like, I don't know what she wants.
You better take out and have my pants on.
I said, are you? I want to see the whole ensemble.
Because I got shorts on myself, bro.
I almost came out here in my hoochie daddy shorts, but thank God.
Who's your daddy shorts? Who's your daddy?
I had better sense. Jay, it'll be your own friend out there. But anyway.
Sorry, bro. Go on.
Yeah, no, I just think like she's grasping. When somebody's just grasping at straws?
Yeah.
Just grasping at straws and hanging on for any little thing that he's going to give. And it's like he's relishing in it. So I feel like he's getting some like stuff that he's never gotten before. Because clearly he self-admittedly, he ain't been on, he ain't been getting none in quite some time, right? So now you got this woman fawning all over him and he's, walking around like Lionel from Charlie Brown with a dust storm following him. So God bless her, but I don't see it working. I'm sorry. All that, I think what happens is when somebody you know, in these situations, somebody's always probably gonna like someone more than the other ones. But I think like if the balance is so off, at a certain point, that one person will get repelled, and I think that's the problem. Kristen needs to tone it down.
I love that. Crystal, talk
She
to me.
needs to tone it way down. That really took the cake for me, and I couldn't decide if it was that or her just oozing all of these compliments on him right before the what was it, the coochie cards. I just couldn't take it. I was like, girl, you are oozing all of these compliments on him and saying that I'm just so glad that this is how our journey began and stuff like that. And I said, and that's to Sean's point. He's never had this experience before. I think that, again, when he's shown his true colors, women have reacted a different way. Just because she's so nice and complimentary and just not going off on him, that made him hug her more. And I think he just never seen somebody just like give him all of the accolades and stuff like that. She's absolutely delusional, and it's not gonna. And it doesn't work. It's not. He's not gonna care. Next week, that's when the friends and family come, and he's gonna see her mother, and it's all gonna be out the door. So.
I'm definitely hearing that. Any more additions to that little section, and I'll play the next clip. Go for it, Sean. You going over it?
Yeah, I would just say too that, and they said it in the comments, and it was the funniest thing, right? Because when she was giving him all these praises and all this stuff, he was even shocked. You know what I mean? Like, he was super, super shocked. So he was like, really? She was like, yes, I think so. You're really, really nice. It's like, come on, lady. When the person that is getting the compliments is shocked to hear what you're saying, means they're not giving you that, and so then they can fool you with anything. You know what I mean? Because if I can pee on your leg and tell you it's raining, and you're gonna believe it and tell me it's raining whilst you see me peeing on your leg, then that means I can just tell you anything and you're gonna go for it. So hopefully Mitch doesn't run her right on down into the ground, but I just don't. I think he's gonna eventually get repelled by it because it's too much. It's too extra. She's too open. It's like you got to find some balance. And then there's, Pastor Cal. He's like, yay, bro, take your socks and stop celebrating this foolishness, because it's like, yeah, they crossed the sexual boundary. Anybody can do that. That's not necessarily the marker of success in this Mafs environment, right? So, yeah, for me, it was kind of like, yeah, I just see red flags everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna cover that one. I didn't know if you had that next scene with the coochie cards and all of her just oozing, showering him with compliments, but he doesn't even think that highly of himself. So all of these accolades that you're giving him, he doesn't think that way of himself. And so for you to just shower him, he's like, really? That's me? Like he doesn't know that of himself, and that's not him.
I agree. He doesn't. he doesn't believe half the things that she says. I'm sure he's like, I ain't do that much. But that's what I'm trying to say about Kristen's delusion. She's literally lying to herself into the relationship. How she managed to end up sleeping with him, I do not know. How she ended up sleeping with him, I do not know. It's wild to me that she ended up sleeping with him. But hey, people can make things work. Maybe she saw the house and then, and said to herself, let me give him a chance. Beggars can't be choosers. People be saying that she got better options. I know. I mean, it's, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty much both in the same boat. Her delusion, his inability, I think, to really, as well, and I'll play the clip as well, because he's really got a fear of commitment. Like, I mean, commit phobe. Like, he's a proper commit phobe. Like, he really wants to take things day by day and not talk about anything in the future. I'm like, bro, like, it don't work like that. You have to talk about the future. Like, let's take it day by day. I'm like, sir, we only got a few more weeks before his decision date. So, like, let's start. If you're really in this, start planning ahead. This guy's going to leave her on the 8 weeks and be like, it was good. It was fun while it lasted, but I told you day by day. Like, I'm struggling to see where he's coming from, but yeah, enough said about him anyway. Let me add one more person to the panel. Hey, how you doing? Is it Miata?
Miata, hi.
Miata, how you doing? You alright?
Hello, I'm in Rhode Island. I'm in the
Rhode
US.
Island, you sure you're not in heaven? Sister, way the background is shining, you sure you're not in heaven? Girl.
I might be. It's my background. It's the wall. It's not Mitch's apartment, so there's it's clean here.
We like it. You even got the banter on lock. We like that. We like that. What's your thoughts to Mitch and Kristen? What's your thoughts?
Okay, first let me just say this about the apartment. There was a movie a couple of years ago called Joe's Apartment. That's exactly what Mitch's house reminded me of. Like, I expected the cockroaches to come out singing or tell him to get out of it. You know, it was just very very unsettling. But as far as Mitch is the kind of person where he focuses so much on the outside, but he neglects what's going on the inside. So he goes out there and he's trying to clean the world and he's trying to get rid of this with the environment. But then when you go into his house and you look in his house, you see it's cluttered, it's messy, because on the inside, that's who Mitch really is. And until he gets that work done on the inside, it's always gonna look like that. That is a physical manifestation of Mitch, in my opinion. So Kristen can do better. She needs to leave him. He's in love with her mother anyway. So that's my thought.
All right, that's fair.
That's my
right. I like it. I like it. Good sound bars. I like it. All right, cool. One more couple of them, and we can talk about another couple after this.
We're still taking it day by day. Like we're not at the point yet where we're like making like lifetime plans.
But you are making plans beyond 8 weeks.
No.
Not quite
not
yet.
Us, no. The furthest we've talked.
Yeah, I don't like it because he's not giving her what she really needs. If he's willing to lay down with her, why isn't he willing to actually be with her? So she's good enough for him to hop into bed with, but after the 8 weeks, that's it.
That's a question right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I need Kristen to kind of, yeah.
Okay, go. I appreciate Martha. Crystal, go for it.
I have a question. We posted this on Maria's channel last night. The experts, don't they do house visits?
They do.
Did no one see that? I didn't. I couldn't sit through another casting special. So so I sort of watched it after that. But so did they, after they were cast, did they go through? I don't remember. I didn't see it. So I'm just wondering.
I can't remember either. They probably met him at a coffee shop. Probably met him at a coffee shop. Probably didn't meet him at his house. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, that's my answer. And did Kristen pay for? I heard this.
Yeah, she paid for her last wedding. For her previous wedding. Yeah, she paid for it. She put the money together for the last wedding. She's delusional.
The engagement ring as well?
Well, I'm not sure what the engagement, but I definitely know she paid for the wedding. I'm not sure what the engagement ring either.
Well, traditionally the father of the bride pays for the wedding, but the wedding ring, that would, if you want old school tradition. So okay, that's
probably why the dad said he's not coming. He said, "I'm sick and tired of your delusion. Okay, right. Your delusions are grandeur. Okay, so I heard you already. Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, go for it, Sean. I'll come back to you, Crystal.
Yeah, I just think this is just the whole, you saw the body language and he was the one that says, nope, we're not thinking past 8 weeks. And she's like, yep, that's right. No, we're not. You're lying. You're lying to yourself. You got coochie coupons. You got, a life planned out for yourselves. That's not true. That's not the energy you're on. So just another example of going along to get along.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing that. Kristen, we're gonna say something before I cut you off. Go for it.
No, that's okay.
You sure?
This whole thing is just a mess. No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, cool. Miata, do you have any last words on Mitch and Kristen?
Why Kristen was hesitant to tell her father about this whole process, because she's the type that seems like she falls in love quickly. She is ready and willing to give her heart away really quickly. And she doesn't want someone who's going to be like, talk some sense into her, like, hey, girl, he's not the one. This man isn't feeling you. you know, he's a deadbeat, he's a dusty, he's this, he's that. So she doesn't want someone to talk her out of that fantasy that she has created about love and marriage and happiness. And, you know, I get it. She wants to get married. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I think the way that she goes about it is wrong. And she always ends up getting the short end of the stick. First the fiance, now with Mitch.
I'm hearing you on that. Listen, I'm hearing you. And I think also as well, I think that the thing with Kristen is that she lowers the bar so low that Mitch literally wins by her just lowering it that low. Like, he doesn't have to do anything. And I think that's the problem with Kristen. She lowers the bar for whoever she's with, that there's just a bare, and I'm saying bare minimum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's barely doing anything. We're at the bare minimum. And, you know, he's able to get something out of her. This must well be a situationship, let alone a relationship. Like, this must well be, because if you're gonna give bare minimum, you must well be in a situationship. They don't need to be in a committed marriage, you know. And he's not even. Do you see how excited he was when he said, "And listen, hey, look, you should always be excited for your partner, the fact that they make money." But when he heard that she makes more money than him, you know, double the amount, he was like, "Yeah, less pressure off me." I said, "Well, the bar is really in hell." And Satan's doing pull-ups, you know?
Yeah.
Go for it, Crystal.
I feel like that's all of the past, when the guy's not as attracted to the female on this show. Like, in the beginning, Brett and Ryan, she liked him so much. You know, the Paige and Chris, like the women are just like building this guy up, and he's not doing anything. He had no effort. He didn't do anything to be rewarded with those coochie coupons. He didn't do anything. What did he do to deserve that? And I'm not saying a man needs to deserve that, but Mitch, like you just said, the bar is very low. It was just sad. And yeah, she makes double what he makes. And yeah, she wanted somebody that was passionate. What did I say? I wanted somebody that was passionate and that cared about his work. That's all I care about.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Crystal, at all. Mia, do you have anything to say about it? Sorry, I know I cut you off a little bit.
No, it just remind me a little bit of Zach and Mindy. And Zach would do like the bare minimum. Oh, he moved his luggage and his backpack in today. That's a process. That's a progress. He said hi. He texted me hello. It's too bad. Yeah, it is. It's too.
Okay, let's move on to the next couple then, guys. All right, next couple. Let's move on to Binh and Morgan, because they also, had a situation. I don't think I have that many clips, but I do have one or two. So let's bring those on as well.
This idea of putting your wife first, it's something that you have to learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do take ownership for not coming to Morgan first and be like, hey, like, can I talk to an outside source for a new perspective? I apologize for that, for being judgmental of your.
So Binh and Morgan obviously spoke to Dr. Kao, and they spoke a little bit about their situation. She doesn't trust very easily, and she finds it very hard to let the walls down after it's been raised back up once she's been hurt. But Binh took some ownership of his particular behavior, but and she says she's willing to take the walls down now. So I want to get your perspective on Binh and Morgan. What did you guys think of their situation as well? Sean, talk to me, man. What was your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I still feel like she, bullied her way into that argument with him about the fact that she lied. So we get to mask the fact that she lied about her credentials, and it was an unnecessary lie, right? Because clearly she's well employed. She is in healthcare. She is a nurse. Now, what level of nurse she is, did she have to misrepresent it? So I get it. He shouldn't have had the conversation, but I just love how she just switched the pivot, right all onto him about going to someone else. Now, we could talk about how Justin should have just kept his trap shut, but ultimately, right, in this Mafs process, that's what you kind of do. You go to the people who are closest to you, and maybe you'll say, hey, listen, this is what I'm thinking. This is something I feel a little uncomfortable about. right? I'm just getting to know this person. It's not like we've been together for years and there's a basis or a baseline for trust. There isn't. So you're going to talk to the people closest to you, especially somebody in the process, about what you're thinking, especially hello. So I think like ultimately she definitely knew that she put something down on the contract that she didn't want to be exposed. And she made that very clear, right? So how he could have handled that, sure, could have been different. But I feel like we spent too much time like, oh, well, he betrayed my trust and now I don't know if I can trust him. But you were lying, right? It was a misrepresentation. So for someone to kind of have a moral crisis somewhat about something that you did that was untrue, that's normal human behavior. And I think she just bullied him into, feeling bad for talking to somebody about what was a crisis. So I think that's just going to be how she handles future, future interactions, and we'll dig into them deeper. But this is just, to me, another symbol of how their relationship is going to go.
Fair points. Love it. All right. Miata, talk to me. What's your thoughts?
I think Morgan should have got like really intense therapy before signing up for Mafs, because she is very easily triggered, and anything that this man do or say or doesn't do is going to trigger her. And that's coming from her relationship or lack of with her father. So she has all these walls up, and the walls go up every time something happens that she doesn't like. It's gonna trigger her. And I think that she overreacted a bit, because she did lie, and she should have just been like, hey, I did lie, own it. And the way that Binh handled it was wrong, but I feel like she's easily triggered. I feel like she's way easily triggered, and I don't think she should have came on the show. That's my.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Mia. Yeah, easy triggered. I'm definitely hearing that. Crystal, talk to us. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts?
I agree with Mayata. I hope I'm saying your name right. That she should have had extensive therapy before she came on this show. But I'm still of the belief that it's just one class. I think that Binh was catastrophizing, and he was like, oh my gosh, she's lying, and this is horrible, and I wanted somebody with a great family, and I didn't get that. And I was like, Binh, it's not that big of a deal. And you run to somebody, and I get that Justin's, your friend or whatever, your bro, your pal in 3 days, but he's not anybody to give advice. I think that Justin went overboard. I do think that she now is, and it is a therapy a word, when somebody is all or nothing. Like there's no gray area. It's only black or white with her. And that is and I remember, yeah, it's only black or white with her. That is wrong as well. So now she's put this wall back up. I can't trust him. And her and Vacation Braids is singing the same tune now. He lied. He's lying. Girl, calm down. And you really have to really think about this. So she needed somebody like Pastor Cal to say, you're the only one that can break down these walls, and you need to really rethink this. But I think it's only one class. And she made sure and wore her scrubs to let y'all know she is a nurse. She was like, I'm going to make sure and put these on to let them know I am a nurse. I am an RN. I have my associates. It's just one class. I'm just like, I don't know why this is that big of a deal. And I just don't think it was that bad on both ends. I think they both took it the wrong way. But I was like, I just think they've been over exaggerated. And then, of course, that triggered her. And she went off the deep end.
Definitely hear you on that. I think with Binh and Morgan, I actually do believe that Morgan's easily triggered. I think it takes her a long time to recover and recuperate from any kind of pain. I think it takes a little bit too long, potentially, and that could then be that could then be the indication that she might need just a little bit more therapy, just to sit down and heal, do a bit more of that work just so that she can have a shorter recovery period. Because up until now, she's like, if you hurt me, the walls are up and I can't go back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm here now, and do you know what? Once you hurt me, that's it. I cut people off, kind of thing. It's like, babe, you can't just be cutting people off. This is meant to be your partner, your marriage partner. And I ain't forgotten what you said last night. So I ain't forgot what you said last week. So, you know what I mean? Like, after you were saying, basically, you didn't really want a partner. You wanted somebody who was going to be attached to your hip. You know what I mean? Or, sorry, not attached to it, but at your disposal, you know? So, yeah, I think it's a bit tricky with Morgan and Binh. I think she'll have to do a bit of work and just kind of heal a little bit before this relationship can be successful. But saying that, you know, I think they may be able to make it through. You know what? You'd be looking at these two thinking they can't do it, and then it'll be these two that make it through. You know what I'm saying? Sean says no way. Ain't no way, boy. You tell me no way, Sean? Nah. Why not,
Nah,
bro?
because there's no attraction there, right? And I don't know if you have a clip from the other scene, but I think Binh is also very immature. You know, very childlike. I don't know what his relationship experience looks like, but even when they were talking about how to get a little more romantic together, and when they were sitting down with Pastor Cal, and he was like, huh, and he almost like, you know, he was like treating her like a bro. So I don't know if that's just him being a goofball, or he just really is not attracted to her, so he's treating her like a friend, like he's friend zoning her. But I definitely don't see the attraction sparks from him to her. Seems like she's a little attracted to him, but now her walls are up because of, you know, him talking about her career and all that crap. So
that's a fair point. Go for it, Crystal. What are you saying?
Kojo, do you have that clip where he goes like, "I got you, bro," and they're like talking about affection?
No, I didn't. You know, I didn't get that clip. Sorry. Yeah.
So funny. And she was like, "Can you be a little softer?" And he says, Pastor Cal even says, we need to train you in some like affection and stuff like that." And he said, "Okay, I'll YouTube it." I think all these guys on this season have been YouTubing affection. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get you. I remember, and also as well, it was cute. I thought it was quite cute where he said, "I can check it on YouTube." I was like, "Bro, you know what? There is a lot of things you can learn on YouTube, even how to to caress your wife." But I mean, to be honest, the easiest information is right next to him.
Speaking of that, just to go back a little bit with Kristen and Mitch, right? So she was on the after party, and Keisha asked her, "How was their little intimate moment?" And you know, she put the cape on for the good brother. So she's got a good, you know, she's got her wife card in the sense of she's gonna cover you. But in essence, she was like, you know, it was 2 pump jump.
Wait, did she allude to that?
She did. She said it. She said it was brief. You know, but Rudy. Well, I'm sorry, I keep calling this woman Rudy. Keisha had to pull it out of her. You know, and she was like, "But we have time. We have time to get our groove in." Yeah, so.
You know, I can say safely, guys, I don't have that problem. Anyway, Miata, talk to me. What's your thoughts on this?
Oh, God. How do I follow after what Sean just said?
Girl.
I'm embarrassed.
Take your time, sis. Take your time.
My camera also froze a little bit, so I didn't get to hear the question that you asked. I just caught the snippet of Sean's answer.
Yeah, no, it was talking about Binh and Morgan, and we just spoke about the fact that, you know, the where he kind of like touched her to say about intimacy basically, and he kind of was almost broed her with a little jab in the side of her hip and everything, right. And Pascal said, "Come on, fix up."
Right. I think, but to be fair, Morgan does kind of give off that masculine energy. You know, I thought she was in a karate chop at the wedding. She's very, she does give off that energy. She's very, she's kind of just makes herself fit in with like the guys, like the fraternity brother. You know, and I think she got to also soften up a little bit, but I think you also got to toughen up. I think they both, they just have a lot of traumas. A lot of the couples this season have a lot of traumas, and I don't have any hope for anybody. I'm sorry.
I understand. Yeah, I think they both are on opposite ends of the spectrum. They need to help each other. I don't think she gives a very feminine energy at all, and I don't think he gives enough masculine energy. So they're both on the opposite spectrums. They actually need to start doing this towards each other and crossing over, because it seems like both of them are not in the right energy for each other, and I think that will cause them to be exhausted much more quicker. So yeah. There's a lot to be worked on with these two. I think that's what, and I would love to see that experts maybe focus a bit more on that. You know what I mean? Focus on how these two can start complementing one another as well. Things they can work on. Because honestly, I'll be honest with you, they are literally polarized on their energies. And if she had a bit more feminine energy, then that would mean that there'll be more masculine from the other side, or at least another partner who can then kind of cover her so she can rest.
Her or whatever it is he was doing, jabbing her, punching her, because she does give up that vibe that she's vibe. Really, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So she gives us a homie vibe. So, well, she plays games, she fights, she does all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And also she said she wanted somebody who was going to be basically, who wasn't going to be attached to the hip per se. She wants a person to be at her beck and call. Yeah, that's screaming. Yeah, a lot of masculine. Yeah, it's not cute. Yeah. It's not cute at all. Yeah. All right, let's move it on to the next Kipu. Next couple was our brother Miguel and Lindy. Okay, because she was talking about how she wants to basically, she doesn't want to mention the word D-Day. Okay, it's triggering for her.
Make this marriage work.
Decision day is a trigger word for me.
Right.
I hate it. I know we should talk about it. I can't. I just don't. I don't want to hear about it. And that's real.
Why not?
The time.
Not him sitting like this. You don't want to be triggered? No, baby? Okay, no worries. Anyway, listen, what's your thoughts to this? This was Miguel and Lindy. Lindy seems to have a lot of things that do trigger her. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Crystal, talk to me. What's your thoughts?
I think Miguel has picked up on that she's high strung and that she is an overthinker. So this is his strategy that he's taking on with her. But he's seeing that he's not looking at her as forever, or he's going to have some issues and he's not completely sure. But she's practicing this avoidance thing to really face the issue that he doesn't really like her, and she's already, given up the Buddhas without any coochie coupons. And so now she doesn't know where to go and she doesn't want to face it. And her voice is getting on my nerves. And so and just the constant overthinking. But I also think, again, is production telling her to ask him a million questions rapid fire? Like, are they really taking a dive into what type of personality temperament they are? And I don't know that they're really talking and getting to know each other. So I just don't like how Miguel, he's constantly using religion in some derogatory way or some weird way. And it's just, I don't like how he does that. And he thinks it's funny, and it's not funny. And she's trying to say, stop doing that. But because I don't think that she's away from her religion. I just think that she's found another way different than her family and as strict as her family was. So, but I think Miguel's manipulative. A lot of people are saying that she's a grown woman. She chose to do that. She chose to have sex with him. Fine. But still, he's manipulating the situation after the fact. So that's it for now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Crystal. Good bars. Miata, what's your thoughts to this?
Wow. I think Miguel checked out at the wedding night. He checked out when she started panicking about the pajamas and I can't find this, I can't find that. That was when he checked out, because they had great chemistry at the altar. They had great chemistry throughout most of the ceremony. But when she started going on that tangent about the PJs, that's when he officially checked out. But what concerns me about him is now I feel like he's picking at her, like he's doing things to kind of chip away at her little by little, because he knows that she really wants to be married. She's really high strung. She's easily triggered, and she does have a lot of emotional baggage. But I feel like the things that he says, especially about her religion, is to kind of just like pick at her. It's kind of giving like when Gil would take jabs at Merla with the whole princess thing, and that's the vibe it's giving to me.
I agree that 100%. Like it. Good points. Sean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he kind of said it. He's been saying it from the beginning, in terms of that's his measurement for how he's thinking about this whole process. So it's very interesting that they're both on two opposite ends of the spectrum, because decision day is everything to him, and he's trying to, he's like, I can't even think past decision day. I'm just trying to make it to decision day. And she's like, I don't even want to think about decision day. So I think there's definitely a mismatch here. And I don't know. I think she's also very much in her head. So I don't know how he's going to deal with that, combined with his mommy issues. So I just think it's going to, it's just going to explode a little bit. And then she got mad about the bacon grease. The brother had a good little bottle of bacon grease. Listen, who knew? I would not expect Miguel to have no bacon grease sitting up on that stovetop right there. That's an old black tradition. So I was shocked to see that. So shout out to Miguel for being prepared to season that food.
Right. But he's Puerto Rican, so because that is definitely an old black tradition.
Bacon grease. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing that. I think also as well with Miguel and Lindy, I think we have to kind of put on it. I think he's already kind of checked out. And also every time they talk, the girl is overthinking, and after a while it just gets annoying. Like Miguel's got his problems. Don't get it twisted. Miguel's got his problems. Like he's not ready for a relationship. He needs to go and heal as well. He really does. But, just every time they speak, like there's an overthinking, and then there's these really strict boundaries on stuff that you're like, what the hell? Like deed day, decision day, that's a trigger for me. Okay, don't want to talk about this. Don't talk about this. Okay, don't talk about that. It's like, babe, like you're in a relationship. You can't keep saying you don't want to talk about stuff, right? Honestly, as for me, it couldn't be me. I couldn't deal with that. That's just far too much stress, too much anxiety. You're going to make me have nerves. I don't want to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not every time overthinking. And also it puts undue onus on me to remain calm every single second of the day so that you don't get stressed. You know what I mean? It's stressful trying to do that for someone else every single time. But, they do get along. They do communicate. They do talk. It's just, I just don't think that, it's beneficial for them because of the overthinking and his abandonment issues as well. He's got very big abandonment issues, and I think that's what's making him also pull away from her very, very quickly. The abandonment issues that he has with the mom and the dad situation, I think that makes it very hard for him to want to settle. But, he said, I don't know, when he was showing her the Dungeons and Dragons cards, that he feels comfortable with Lindy, and they've done things in a few weeks that he would never do with people in a whole year or two in terms of connection. So maybe there is something about that. But I would say, the thing that really got me was actually watching him with Pastor Cal. I was asking one question: who farted, or who stinks? Why were on the opposite side of the chair? They were literally hugging both corners, like you're about to have a boxing match. Like, what had happened? Did you guys get into a fight before you came to see Pastor Cal, or what? Because you couldn't be any further than it. Like, literally, Miguel became a coin in the corner of the chair. Like, when you find a coin or some dollars in the corner of the chair because it fell down the side, that was Miguel, and that was Lindy, right in the corner, literally. And I was asking myself, what's gone on here? So we're seeing everything, and you talking about how things have improved and how things look good, but then in front of Pastor Cal, y'all on two different sides of the world. You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy. I don't know. Anyone else got extra thoughts on them two? If I drop another clip for them. Yeah, no. Do you want to? Okay, I've got this other clip that was seen, which I think was pretty good as well.
Towards me, but you know it will come back as soon as we understand each other and you know. Feelings come and go, and they waver easily. And if you're going just based off of feeling, say goodbye, because every time we're gonna be in an argument.
So this was their conversation with Pastor Cal, and she was talking about, feelings come, feelings go, in regards to their conversation. And she also said something really interesting as well during that conversation. She said, obviously, don't tell me when you feel like you're pulling away, right? Because it feels like you're punishing me, and it feels like, you're not trying to make it to the 8 weeks, basically. So I want to get your kind of thoughts as well on this conversation with Pastor Cal, Miguel, and Lindy. What was your kind of thoughts and summations of this particular part of conversation? Who would like to go? You just gonna look at each other. Okay, I'll play another clip then.
Conflict, or if you do feel like you're not connected to me, I need you to stay sturdy and not tell me that.
I wish I could say yeah.
Okay. So what exactly, so she meant don't hold it in. What is she saying by stay sturdy? I'll ask a question instead of what I think, because words hurt. To Lindy, she's really emotive and she talks a lot. So she's saying, don't be rude about it, stay sturdy. Tell me, what are your thoughts on how she's...
Keep it inside and don't tell me. Keep it to yourself.
Okay, that's what I'm getting, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, yeah, okay. Don't tell me, but then how is she gonna help the situation? She does, yeah. Because I think if he tells her, then she's gonna internalize it and overthink. Am I right?
Potentially. I'm not sure 100%. Potentially. Go for it, Miata. You want to jump in?
I think she has some type of conflict avoidance style type of personality. She kind of reminds me of a little bit of Justin, with how they handle conflicts and how they want to kind of just avoid it so that they don't tell me about the bad, just tell me about the good. I want to hear all good stuff,
Like that, yeah.
Yes, that is a little bit hard to watch, honestly. I really don't. Her talking is just too much. Yeah, it's incessant, so I just kind of tune her out sometimes.
No, I definitely hear what you're saying. I definitely feel like, she wants to, basically, she doesn't want to deal with the realness. She puts her head into the ground, and then wants to, like an ostrich, and kind of hopes that things are going to bypass her. But you have to, that's what I said, you have to talk. You're going to have to deal with some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I do partly agree with a bit of Miguel when he said, look, I'm going to have to tell you, how I'm feeling. I can't bottle it up, because what you don't want is a situation where towards the end, I just tell you, listen, I'm done. And you're like, wait, how can you just be done? It's like, well, you didn't want me to talk, so now we're here, and I'm telling you that I'm done. Mm-hmm. You should be able to communicate with your partner and be able to tell them some real things. And it seems like it's getting harder to tell Lindy certain things that are not going to be not positive, because she's always trying to get ahead of the situation by saying, I know we're going to have trouble, I know we're going to have this, I know we're going to have that, I know we're going to have that. And even Pascal had to tell her, listen, chill, B. Okay, all right. You don't be always trying to jump ahead of the gun and telling us, that things are gonna happen. Things might not even happen. So relax a little bit. But it's because she's trying to almost brace herself for bad news. Like, if it comes, I'm ready for it. But that can also incite bad news, which doesn't need to be happening in the first place. So I get why I can feel there's that nervousness and anxiety, of course, of the environment that she came from, but. Baby, we're going to need you to fix up, okay, darling? Because it's a lot, of this avoiding of the actual subject. You can't do that forever. Can't keep running from situations and stuff. So, yeah, that was a big thing. What are you saying, Sean? You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I just would say, listen, there's if anybody's, is a fan of Layla Hathaway, she has a beautiful song called Breathe. That needs to be the soundtrack to Lindy's life. Just breathe, and I think sometimes you don't, and I'm not hippy dippy trippy and into all the mindfulness of everything, but I think breathing is so super important. And if you're so anxious and so wound up and you're trying to like predict what's going to happen and you have all this pent up fear and angst, you just need to breathe, breathe through it, stop trying to be 10 steps ahead, because life is going to do what life is going to do, right? And we, as much as we wish we all were prophetic and we could see every step that comes ahead of us, we might not want to know what comes next if we knew, right? So just breathe, relax, try to make the best decision that you can in the moment, but enjoy it. And I think, the overthinking, and then you want to drive him to overthink. So it's one thing if you have anxious energy, right? But now you're going to tell me what to do. You're going to tell me not to express myself. I can see us if I'm being very negative or I'm being rude or whatever like that. But if you just don't want me to tell you anything, that sets the precedent for very imbalanced communication. And you're not going to have a healthy relationship, because if all I'm doing is telling you the things that make you feel good, then we're not making progress, right? So that's my thought.
Love that stuff. Love that. Ludwin, welcome to the conversation. It's good to have you on board. I don't know what's your thoughts around Miguel and Lindy?
Hello everyone.
Hey.
I just want to say, like, that silk shirt is doing something all day for me.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
a
you.
uniform
I appreciate you.
day I see. But
I'll call you later.
All right. Lindy and Miguel. I have a feeling he was into her until they had sex and something changed for him.
Ooh.
All of a sudden, she's more annoying. All of a sudden, she is too much for him. I don't know. Like, it's either like he's... I apologize. But yeah, I realized when he was describing it on camera, it was so magical. It was like it came from heaven and earth. And I'm like, aren't you an unbeliever? What's going on here? Like, I've never met a man who over described the sex so angelic. And I'm like, okay, he's capping. Like, I immediately knew that man was capping. So now all of a sudden, like, he has an issue with everything that she does. And I can also agree that she may be a little over the top sometimes, but I feel like he's more annoyed. Like, if you don't like nobody no more, whatever they do is gonna bother you. It's gonna get on your last nerve. Like, you will nitpick whatever, the small thing, and say, you know what? I can't do it. She's doing too much. I gotta go. Run away. That man is for the street. He went to smash, and he's like, I think I'm just gonna do the 8 weeks, and I'm gonna go. We're gonna see complaining from him for the rest of the next couple episodes. That's my prediction.
Appreciate it, Ludwig. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You have to go for it. Sorry, go for it.
Oh, I agree with what she just said. I think, but I think initially he did like her, just based on like how they met at the altar, their chemistry. But I think like the PJ whole episode thing really turned him off from her, and she's right. And I know I've been guilty. If I don't like somebody and you're trying to get away from them, you just, everything they do get on your nerve. Everything they say, it could be the littlest thing, and you're just like, this is too much. It's too much. They're doing too much. And in reality, you're just trying to get rid of them, and you don't want to hurt their feelings. But I don't have much to say about those two.
That's cool. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anyone else have any more talks about Miguel and Lindy? No. I mean, to be honest, like, sex does change things, especially if you're not really on it. If you're not really on it, you know what I mean? Us guys all the time do it as well. Like when we, have sex with a girl that you don't really like, it's the post-nut clarity. It's like, bro, now it's annoying because now you've achieved the goal. It's like, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be doing this. I don't need to be talking to you. I don't need to be around you. And it's like that person now, like Lumen said, everything about that person now becomes annoying. It's like you're hard to deal with it. I don't know if he's there at that point as of such, but I can see how that could also play a part in like furthering along his annoyance with some of her behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Like before you got the sex, maybe you might have been like, oh, but now it's like, I'm not dealing with this, bro. Like I got what I need to get out of the situation. It's not worth my energy. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's also a consideration as well. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by them too. I'm intrigued by the two of them. I think Lindy and Miguel, even after last episode, the fact they were calling each other out. Well, at least Lindy was calling them out, and Miguel was back here again, saying how great she is, how good she is, how much he allows her to be himself, and he can be free and all this stuff. And I'm like, so where is the relationship really? I'm just really confused by this relationship. Are you good or we're not good? You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit choppy, for me, So yeah, I'm intrigued by their particular relationship in that regard. So yeah, hopefully we'll see some more around them so we can get an understanding. Shout out for HFG says, loving the shirt, Kojo. That's an anniversary candlelit home date that gets your lady in the mood shirt. Also, I have zero faith in any of these couples this season. Love for that, HFG. Big shout out for that. Much love again, guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to
wait,
Sean. Go for it.
I was gonna say, I think that the next kicker is gonna be how she reacts to the cosplay, because I think he was vulnerable with her. He was like, I feel like I can talk to her, I can be myself, right? So let's see how she reacts. If she's grossed out or if she shoos him away, I think that might be the final nail in the coffin for these two. But if she's open to it, then I think they might have another shot to just keep moving on. The cosplay is going to be big because that's important to Miguel.
He did bring out the Bible. He brought out his Dungeons and Dragons Bible, didn't he?
He did, and then remember they did a sneak preview where he jumped out in that moose costume or whatever the heck that nonsense was.
Yes. Maybe it should be cool, but who knows? Maybe it should be cool for it, and they will live happily ever after. He really does give me Jose vibes, though. He's really giving me Jose 2.0. I can't lie to you. Everything about him is giving me Jose 2.0.
Kojo, you're muted. You're muted. There you go.
Back now. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the next. One. Let's go to the next one. This one here. Yes. Let's go. Fantastic. I love this.
There's just trash in here. 11:01:21. That's trash. What the hell? Is this like...
Not in my kitchen, you won't. Not in my kitchen. That was hella rude, I can't lie to you. That was hella rude. Oh man, that was hella rude. I can't lie to you, that was hella rude. But what was your guys' thoughts around this particular this part of the conversation? This where our sister Stasia came into the yard. I mean, to be fair, there were 2 wine glasses that did have wine in them previously. I mean, he should wash that out properly. To be fair, that should have been washed. I'm surprised she didn't put that in the sink. But she was dashing out things. But she put that right back. So she ain't no better than no jokes. But what was your guys' thoughts around those two? In this particular scene, not the other parts. We'll get onto the 415K and everything like that. this particular scene, what did you glean from it? What did you see? What was your thoughts about them visiting each other's houses and stuff like that? You know what I mean? And by the way, I love her kitchen counter. I don't know what you call that. Her island. She definitely makes big bucks, because that island, I've seen that island in those big houses when they're doing tours and stuff. So, by the way, listen, Crystal, go for it. Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah, her island was the business. Her house was very pretty. But I thought that was production. She walked in. I have 3 brothers, and compared to the other guys' places, what's his name? Nate. He did pretty good. Like, it was messy and stuff like that, but it wasn't as bad. The glasses, I'll give you that on the glasses, but she came in, she's like, okay, it's a bachelor pad, okay, and then she's laying on the bed. Somebody who treats her house like a museum or whatever, like a hotel. She just laid on the bed and everything, and she got real comfortable. And then next thing you know, she's like tearing stuff out of the cabinets, and you saw his face. He was like half smirking, like he was like, this is all for show. But I do think that she got into it. Now, I think they told her, like, start looking around, and it reminded me of, what's his name, Ryan and Clara, and everything looks nice until you start opening the cabinets. Then all of a sudden, stuff is just like, just thrown in everywhere. And he's a bachelor. I didn't think his closet looked horrible, actually. That there wasn't anything in the refrigerator. He Postmates, Uber Eats, and all of the other stuff a lot. I don't think that he's somebody that cooks a lot for himself. Like, he Postmates a lot. So I just didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, and we'll get into the cost of living in downtown San Diego next, but I said that was production, because she got into it, and they told her, start tearing that place apart, like, start looking in the cabinets and stuff. And when she first walked in, she didn't have a problem with it. Or it's not that she didn't have a problem with it. She was like, it's a bachelor pad. This is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, that's just my. But you know what? Okay, so that last thing, I did think that, but with Mavs, they go into their homes. They do the inspection. So it couldn't. I said, did he get an Airbnb? But he didn't know he was going to go on the show. He didn't know he was going to be chosen. So, and an Airbnb in downtown San Diego is going to be super expensive. So, I thought about that, and I'm not going to say it's an Airbnb just yet. I just don't think so. Because this isn't put a ring on it. It's Mavs. They go into people's houses. Apparently everybody's house except for Mitch's.
Miata, talk to us. What's your thoughts?
I thought it was an Airbnb as well, or that but I was under the impression that Nate had roommates. I thought the blonde girl and the other friend, I thought those were his roommates. Oh, it wasn't. Oh, okay.
Are they neighbors or something, or just friends?
Right. I thought that he had roommates, so I was really shocked that. I mean, I need to see the receipts before I say that's Nate's, please. But I think it was production too, because if it wasn't, it's a little disrespectful to go to somebody's house and just start rearranging things in your fridge and your cabinets. And I know that's your husband, but still, I think kind of gotta respect what's in someone else's house. That's all I gotta say to that.
You'd be surprised. This is, I know it sounds mad, but people will do this stuff, I've seen it live. Listen, I don't want to say the person's name, but I was around a friend's house back in the day when we started dating, and listen, she went into my boy's kitchen. Now, I'll be fair to her, I think the butter had a little bit of mold on it or whatever. She took the butter and just threw it in the bin without even asking. Like, just say, can I throw this in the bin? Like, you just don't do certain stuff. You have to know that when you're in someone else, you're in someone else's space, off or no off, it's courtesy to consult the person whose house you're in. You know what I mean? You just never know. Now, of course, if he says yes, you can, then do it. But she just went in there, started just chucking things out. This needs to be in the bin, chuck that out. I was just like, babe, like, I need you to chill. Like, this is not your house, okay? This is someone else's house. have respect, and as well show a bit of decorum as well. It's not classy at all what you're doing right now. Do you know what I mean? It's actually great. It just felt a bit. It felt a bit elitist when she was doing that. But anyway, like I said, maybe it was production pushing her. But I mean, if they pushed her, she didn't have to do it. It's not in a contract that she has to do everything they say. So that's something that she probably wanted to do herself. So she's going to have to take some responsibility. Ludwig, what's your thoughts to that? What's your thoughts?
Okay. Do you want my thoughts on her throwing stuff around? Because the comments are wilding right now.
They are wilding. They're very much wilding.
Okay. I was waiting for that controlling side to come out of Stacia. Stacia, however you say her name. So her raiding that house was definitely what I was waiting for. I was waiting for her to start nitpicking at things, and that's exactly what she did. And someone was saying in the comments that he's squatting in that place. It's giving it's not his place. It's giving he asked a friend to borrow the crib for filming, and he barely lives there because I think it was Crystal that was saying that I really swore he had roommates. I could have sworn he had roommates. So I was like, how is this place so empty? Like, as a woman, I have no roommates. I have way more things in my house than that. Like, I can understand some men don't really be shopping for things. They're very minimal. But someone that makes 150 or more definitely tend to have a lot more stuff in their house. I mean, look at Sean's crib. The little spot he's sitting right there, we can tell his house is full of stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, he decorates and everything. He has a whole printer. Okay, that's a man's house. All right.
Sean and Nate are two different people, two different mentalities, but I don't think he had roommates. It's so funny.
Like, there's a whole shelf over there with books and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a grown man crib. Not what we were looking at on TV for Nate. So that's what I gotta say.
I hear you. I definitely hear you, Ludwig. There's some stuff in the house. There's some stuff in the house. I'm hearing you on that one for sure. Sean, with the stuff in the house, could you please tell us what your thoughts were on Nate, please?
Shout out to Ludwig. I appreciate that. Thank you for noticing my little decor that I tried to piece together. So, listen, if it's his house, then me and Kojo are going to have to go on an apology tour. And I will officially give my apology for the first time ever on Little Black Book, right? Because I'm just sorry. I'm not buying it. It looks very much, not his, right? I call up my boy. I'm like, yo, bro, they about to film. Let me just use your place, because just them sneakers, the little sneaker rack with like 4 or 5 pairs of sneakers on the shelf. It just didn't look lived in at all. So I feel like her antics at the end of the day, look, if you're going to do all of that, like, you want to come through, like, and I like how Nate handled it. I'll give him credit, because that's a little bit annoying, right? The way she just was like running ripshod and just like pulling stuff out of drawers. My thing is like, yo, you want to pull it out, then you're going to clean it up. We're just not tossing things across the floor. And if they're my things, right, then I need you to keep that energy. You want to pull wine glasses out of the cabinet that still have wine in them, which is weird, but nevertheless, that was what it was, right? Then, hey, put your gloves on and clean it up, right? Because if that's what you want to do, then, or if you find things that are old or expired, throw it in the garbage. I thought that was really rude, really entitled for her to just toss things across the floor. So for me, I thought that was a little problematic, and I didn't find the place that, it's a bachelor. He's in his young 30s. If that is again his place, it was clean, it was tidy. He just has some expired stuff. Look, listen, y'all give me credit, but you might go in my cabinet, you might find something there might be a few months expired. There might need to be thrown away. You know, I'm not going to eat it, but it just might be there. I haven't gotten around to it. I get it. We should be better. But sometimes when you live in a single life, you're busy, you're doing things, you don't get around to it. So I can definitely understand, you know, that you might have, everything might not be picture perfect. But again, I didn't like her attitude. I didn't like the approach. I didn't like throwing things across the floor. It was giving me OCD and a little bit of like Stephen King's Misery vibes. Like she's just going to spin out of control at any second if things weren't the way she wanted. You know, fighting over what's going to go on the top of the bathroom counter, and it's too much. It's too much. But we'll get to her salary, and that's where I'll make some concessions. We'll talk about that later.
Sorry, Crystal, my bad. I was muted. Go for it, Crystal. Go for it.
I was just going to say one thing. Remember when they first, when he had the friends over, I don't think that the place where he told everybody that he got selected for Married at First Sight, that was a different place altogether. I don't think that was the same place. I didn't think that was his place when they were, he had the blonde girl and like two guys. That was a different place altogether. Yeah, so that I will say, I think that's where you guys got the impression that that was roommates or something. But I said, that's not his apartment. I just got the impression that wasn't his place. So that was really it. That's all I was going to say.
I mean, that apartment definitely was in the YouTube video that we watched last time. So that was that view that he had. I think that's the same place.
And that's where I thought that was his friend's house. I said, oh, he went to somebody's rooftop to film. So we're all thinking, we're all side eyeing the whole situation. So.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know what I mean? It did look a bit too clean. In terms of not even clean, too empty, as you guys keep saying. You know, just felt a little bit unlived in, as people keep saying. It felt like it wasn't a home just yet. You know, like it didn't feel warm. You know, it felt like he was showing us the computer desk, and I was looking for the computer. Where was the laptop? That's what I was looking for. You know what I mean? Like it suddenly had disappeared. Like it just felt a little bit empty. There was nothing on that table. And I know, listen, hey, some people like their place clean, but it just felt a little bit too empty. You know, I've seen smaller rooms with more character, and you know, honestly, I need him to kind of just, if that's not your house, bro, probably maybe it is a friend that borrowed him the house. Maybe it's part of the company that he works for and that give him that house. Who knows? But you should see my house, guys. You come in here, you're gonna know somebody lives in it, man. Okay, especially that spare room. Anyway, let's go on. Let's see. I want to get your thoughts on this comment that he made before we get to the money situation.
We like switch up some of the colors so that way it's like a little less girly.
Sure.
Bathroom's clean. Let's see what. Okay. Toilet's down.
I just want to highlight that because he said, listen, before I actually cut it off before he said it, but he said about you can change the colors. Basically, can we change it because it's too feminine? And I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know, did you get feminine from that? I got hotel vibe, but not necessarily feminine. And that really alerted me because of how he might see masculine and feminine things. So I wonder, he might have a very strict kind of rigidity between what he sees as masculine and feminine. But don't know if anyone else kind of clocked that. Go for it, Crystal. Oh, yeah, go for it.
You want to go first, Sean? I actually didn't mind what he said. He's looking at her house and he's like, I want some semblance of me in here. Like, if we bring this to the other house, can we get some, some color, some blues, some greens? He's like, this does look, now you're right. It was kind of a very beige little dinner tray, but it did look kind of, he wants to have some semblance of him as well, like less pillows on the bed. I honestly think he needs to speak up about that and say, okay, you make more money. We all know that. You're gonna be much more you're doing big things, and he knows that she's gonna be moving and shaking and bringing in a lot of money, and he's like, can I have some semblance of me? Less pillows on the bed. Can I get some masculinity in here? I think that was actually okay for him to say that. Yeah, it was neutral colors, but it did look feminine. It looked feminine, and he wants something that says that that I want some semblance of me in here. I think he needed to speak up about it and say, can we get something less girly? Can we, man, put some bass in your voice and say, I would like this. I actually didn't mind him saying that. And she's like, sure. And that's what I actually didn't like, that she was kind of saying, I run this show. And she's like, I really don't want to, but I will if you want me to. That's how I got her answer. He needs to speak up if he wants to assert any type of presence in the situation.
Definitely hear that. Thank you, Mr. Sean. Go for it.
Yeah, I would just say, let's get past the shared apartment before you start decorating her what appears to be almost $1 million house. You know, I get it. And I do understand that feeling of wanting to, especially when you're moving into somebody else's space, which, you know, and sometimes it doesn't always work that way. And I guess the male ego, we kind of have to sometimes navigate things differently. But I'm just always an advocate of a couple moving into a space together versus one moving into somebody else's territory, especially when there's such a disparity in finances. Right. So I understand him wanting to make it his own, but let's get past the shared apartment. Right. It's time and season. You know, I wouldn't walk into somebody's house after meeting them for the first time, knowing that, you know, we're going to move in down the line and then be like, OK, we need to change this paint. We need to fix this. We need to do that. The same way that she shouldn't have raided his closets and started pulling out things and tossing them across the floor. I think, you know, just compliment her taste, because right now that space is designed for her, right? So it's going to be feminine because she's a woman, and typically, you know, it's going to be reflecting how she is. So I would just say, oh, that's very nice. Keep it trucking. You know, that's a conversation for another time. And I think sometimes we want to tackle everything, and sometimes little things should just be little things, right? Focus on the process. The decor is going to be what it's going to be. Focus on how you two are getting along, the relationship. I think him throwing that out there is like, you know, just him puffing his chest a little bit of, you know, I want to put my stamp on it. Nah, bro, you need to chillax, right? Because he was way too happy skipping through her house. You know, you could see him doing a checklist like, okay, you know, he was doing a dusty checklist and that dusty dance like, we got this. Cha-ching, you know? But that's my thoughts.
Hey, I definitely hear you. I think I personally think, yeah, with these two, this, because I was just talking to a friend the other day, and I was talking about this, about, you know, women that make more than on the men, and obviously considerably there's a big difference between the two of them. And yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, there's a time and place to choose your battles, in terms of like the core and everything like that. But obviously, if he does move in with her, it's gonna be long, because she doesn't, and this is her even before the money. I think she likes things a certain way, and that's gonna be a big struggle for him to even. And that's my biggest fear. Because you see, sometimes, let me just say this, maybe I'll trigger the ladies a little bit. I'm so sorry, girls. You know what I mean? I'm in my silk shirt today. I'm not even trying to be in trouble today. I'm trying to give you my Steve Harvey effect. But, you know what? I'll be honest with you. This potentially could turn into that situation where we say, this is why, brothers, you can't date someone that earns too much more than you, right? Because he may not have much say. Like I heard someone put in the chat, he can't really say anything because, you know, she makes this amount of money. I said, well, that's the reason why we don't like dating people that earn more. Because that's how, if he now moves into a house, you're going to be like, well, that's her house. No, that's our house. That's our house now. The same way that if I was a man and a woman moved into my house, we'll be saying, well, you should let her, you know, make it into a home. Well, now he's moving into a house. Well, at least after the experiment anyway, not now, just yet. You're going to have some say too to make sure the house is going to be looking some type of way. Because, and again, this is, I think, just with Stassi and him specifically, I highlighted the throwing the stuff around because if someone already makes more money than you, yeah, there's already an impression that's going to be made. Even if it was a man that made more money, if he came into her house and started throwing things around, but he earned considerably more than her, the first thing that would be on someone's mind, perception-wise, like, he's bougie. Like, why is he just coming to my house and think he can dash things around? That's really not a good sign. That's not really a good sign of somebody that's going to respect you. It was a disrespectful thing to do, and for her to throw it out like that, for her to throw it out like that, again, kind of shows that she's gonna potentially, there's gonna be a moment where she's gonna disrespect you, because she's already started. You know what I mean? If the person could come into your house and dash things at your cupboard, just think of your cupboard as you next. You'll be next as where the disrespect is coming to. So that's what I'm not talking about. It's not necessarily about, I know because people might be focused on the wrong thing here. What I'm talking about is a set of behaviors that are happening right now. And those behaviors right now are indicative of what could happen in the future. Right? For instance, she wants to have a kid right now, and I saw Pastor Kyle talking about, have the kid at. I personally think the 250 thing is a joke. I don't understand why he needs. Well, sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. Let me leave that alone. But I think with them two, when it comes to having who earns the most money, perception is a very big thing. How someone perceives you, and so if you start acting in the light of that perception, you can actually cause the tear before it actually really happens. So you actually going into his cupboard and throwing things out, you earn more money than him already. It can look like, oh, this girl's just bougie. And he actually said it. He said basically that this girl, she's kind of not. He didn't say she's a control freak, but he said obviously she's a bit much. He basically was saying it's a bit much. And I was like, okay, so it's already started. And so now it's all going to. Now what's going to happen is presumptions, right? People start making assumptions on behavior, of intent of behavior. And this is where it becomes very difficult when people make considerable amounts of money different to a person, especially when a man makes less than the woman does. You know what I mean? So, someone says she can do better. No, she can't. I'll be honest with you. No, if you've got that kind of attitude, you can't. You're literally at your level. If that's your attitude, you're at your level. So I can foresee future-wise some emasculation starting to come in, because if he doesn't start earning more money, that situation is going to blow up in a really bad way, because that cupboard thing, and I know it sounds so small, my last point before I let someone talk, it sounds so small, but you know what I'm starting to realize? Whenever I say these things, sometimes I don't like to say it with chest, I'm going to say it straight. If that's a big indication of how somebody actually feels about you personally and how they view you, I actually think he should have told her, listen, to stop that right there and then. There's no way she'll go into my cupboards and dashing things out. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? And you're telling me that next time when you don't like something, you just go and do it. That's how you feel about it. You know what I mean? But you want me to be vulnerable and tell you about my emotional secrets, but you go into my cupboards and throw things out. My friend. Who hasn't spoken? Ludwin, I haven't heard you on this particular topic. Go for it. I don't know if she's there. No, not there.
I'm here. There is a level of audacity that broke people have.
No, you're mad. Sorry, go on.
There is a level of audacity that people who are lesser than you to tell you what to do with your own money or with your own house. I almost lost it when Nate was like, oh, let me decorate. Bro, you didn't decorate yours. Yours is stage. Your place is not yours. How you gonna decorate mine? I got more money than you. How you gonna tell me what to do in my own crib? This is my house. Like, what is going on? Like, I was like, what do you mean this is too feminine? Like, I'm a woman. What is else gonna be here? Yes, it's going to be some foo-foo stuff going on. I'm going to have flowers. I'm going to have delicacies everywhere because this is a woman's palace. Now, we can have a sit down and see, like, how can you fit your personality in this house? But we're not about to have you take over because you're not bringing a house. I'm bringing the house. I have the money. I'm the one with the big house being built. Where is your house, Nate? You can make the rules if you have your own crib. It's crazy. It's like the idea of some of these men to think like, hey, I'm gonna make the rules now since I'm your husband, but you don't have a leg to sit on. The woman makes 3 times than you. You know, I always find it weird when he was like, he specifically requested somebody older because he knew if he wants a boss chick, she gonna have money because he has no money. A man with money is not gonna request a boss chick just off the bat. That is already the mindset of someone who is not looking to be a grown man per se. The man is 34. The same way you guys were saying that she's looking to have a kid soon. I just don't see it. It's I'm sorry. The word for me for Nate is the audacity. That's what I'm gonna be at.
Go for it, Crystal.
That's not what he was saying. That little table, whatever, and that's those pillows. She said, can we bring that to the shared house? So the shared house, he wanted to change it up to make it a little bit more masculine. If she was going to leave it there at her house, he didn't care. And she said, can we take this with us? He said, sure, yeah. And then the other, the pillows, she wanted to have a bed full of pillows. And he said, do we have to have a bed full of pillows at the shared house, the one that they're sharing? He wanted to, as you just said, implement some of his personality in that. I don't think that I think he knows he doesn't have a huge leg to stand on, and she is going to be making a lot of the decisions. That's why I said, girl, you should have just bought that coffee maker before you even went on Mavs. And I was like, who told you to even have this conversation? This isn't even a conversation for you to be having with him. So I just think in the shared house, the one that they're going to share, he wants to exude some of his personality. He is going to be making, he knows that he's going to be having to make some concessions for her. But her being 34, that's another thing. He actually asked for somebody younger. And then Pastor Cal told him, well, if you want somebody, he did say he wanted a boss, but he wanted younger. Pastor Cal said, maybe you should go for older. So that's how that happened. He didn't ask for her to be his potential wife to be 37. So that's not how that happened. I do think that especially in San Diego, is going to be slim. It is not going to be. It is slim pickings for Stasha, unless she moves. Unfortunately, I know because I was there in that same area. And Nate, I think he is very impressed. He walked in there. He's like, whoa, like she is not only talking the talk, she's walking the walk. And he does need to open up like that. We'll get into that in a minute, but I just feel like I'm side-eyeing his him and his situation. True, but he does need to, I think he needs to start now, and she needs to get used to compromise now while they're in this shared space, because if they do stay together, she'll be able to get used to it. If they last longer than this 8 weeks. So I hear what you guys are saying. Wait till after the shared space is over, though. But her being that she has been doing for herself and not had to compromise for this long, she needs to start getting used to it now. She needs to ease on into it and inject some of his things into her life now. So when it does, so if they do work out, then it'll be an easier transition for her later. That's what I think.
I hear you. Let's get on to the money situation then, because I'll play 2 clips for you guys.
It's actually a real investment.
Okay.
You go to a high-end coffee shop like every day. You drink coffee every day.
Yeah.
So let's just round up $6 for a latte, and you drink coffee every day. So we're looking at around $200 a month. So you're spending $2,400.
The math wasn't really mathing. I'm not gonna lie to you on that, to be honest. But let's look at this second clip as well, because they talked about their salaries. And just want you to pay attention to Stassia's response, okay? This is why I can't be dating people that make too much money, more money than me. I'm sorry, I can't do it. You're not going to make me look like a dickhead, okay? All right, let's see.
I'm fine with it. It's workable.
It's workable. Develop. Come on, give me.
Expand.
I mean, you made me give you a number, and he far exceeds that, so I was happy.
So he far exceeds the number that she said that she wants, but it's still workable. I just want to let you know the disrespect is coming, okay? The disrespect is coming, and this is why I said that if you're a man, you have to choose the right type of girl if she makes more money than you, all right? Ludwin, I love you. But Ludwin said something which proved our point, right? She said, if he makes all that kind of money, he can't say nothing. Precisely. This is why we don't date you. Simple as. We won't do it. Don't do it. It's why I recommend to men, do not do it. Because most women cannot cope with that level of power over you, because they see that money that they have over you means you can't tell me nothing. So if you get a girl that makes that kind of money and has that kind of energy, sirs, I need you to run. No offense. It's honestly that way, because if money means that I can't say anything, you should just enjoy what I've given you, then guess what? That's not the relationship you should be in, sir. I need to run for the hills. And it's actually one of the biggest fears when we say that men, why some men don't want to date women who make more money. This is why. The attitude that comes with it. You can't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? All right, cool. If you can't tell you nothing, then all right. Then you go your way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you date your level. And the misconception that, also that our good sister can find a man on her level financially. She can easily find it. If she could, she wouldn't be on the show. They're all struggling. That's why they're on the show. They're struggling because they can't find people within their own circle. Nobody is better than anybody else because you're on the show, okay? You're all struggling. You've all got problems. You've all got shortfalls, okay? All right? Ain't nobody better than the other person, okay? You know what I mean? So, honestly, I wouldn't even say that Nate has to even level up. If he really makes 150K, he's making good money. You know what I mean? He's making good money. But again, it just relates back to why, as I said, even though he makes 150K, let's say per se, she makes 415K. The attitude is what is the problem. There's an immediate emasculation. This is not all women that make more money than men. I'm just saying that a lot of times when we talk about this particular situation, this is what we mean by the attitude that can be a throw-off. You know what I mean? And then it might be kind of put in a different way, like, oh, you guys are insecure. Nah. Imagine you come in someone's house and throw their food out the kitchen. Imagine you're telling me my salary is workable after you said that I make more than the threshold that you said was that you needed. Oh, sorry, apologies. That's why I say about always watching what people's energy is and what they say, because sometimes people will tell you that, I'm good with it, I'm comfortable with it, and really and truly they're not. So that's for me. You make 500K, I'm not going to date you. It's just that simple. I'm so sorry. I don't think many people have that right attitude. I think contempt will creep in very quickly, and disrespect will creep in quickly as well. Do you know what I mean? Next, it's a $1,700 coffee machine in my house. But anyway, listen. Let me stop barring and being joking, but let's get serious conversation. Sean, what are you telling me?
Yeah, it was her body language for me when they said that when they started talking about salaries, you see how she damn near had to get up, twist around, turn around, and then she was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So it's definitely a shift, you know, in terms of financial. I wonder what her number was that she wanted somebody to make.
Probably six figures.
Interesting. If she makes $400,000 a year, and she's fine with a guy making way less than half, I just don't know how that's going to work out. That's such an interesting dynamic, right? And then she's ready to have kids. So I just see that shifting everything. And she's like, listen, I got it. So it's going to be a lot of I got it, right? And whatever he may want, it's going to kind of get diminished because, you know, of the overwhelming amount more that she makes than him. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't think that it's, I don't have a lot of faith in this one. That's a big disparity. I mean, she makes that's a lot of money, you know?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for one young lady. So yeah, she's gonna run him right down to the ground. I'm sorry. She's trying. I see her trying, you know, that's why she did that, you know, backflip switch, you know, and then she found herself back, you know, leaned into him, but she was uncomfortable, you know, you could see the uncomfortable. So, oh wow, so she told Pastor $80,000.
Oh, sorry.
She told Pastor Cal she would be fine with somebody making $80,000 a year.
And she makes 400
and she makes $400,000. I call cap on that. I call cap. That's a recipe for disaster. Listen, but I could tell you one thing. When I heard 415, I was like, maybe she is a little baddie. Maybe she got a little baddie energy. Just a little baddie energy.
I'm screaming.
I could do it, you know.
I could be corrected. Maybe you might be a little bit of a baddie with that 400. The money, you know, the money kind of changes it slightly.
Yeah. Come into my kitchen. I've got a few things you need to fry as well. Come on. Yeah. I need to change my perspective on that. She was becoming a maid in that moment. I need to look at it differently. Ludwig, go for it. What was your thoughts on this particular scene? 415K to 80K or 150K. What was your thoughts on that conversation that you had?
I like to give a shout out to Stasia's hair, because she was given that episode. Okay, she was ready for camera. Her hair was nice and beautiful and fluffy. So shout out to her for that. So money conversation, when you have such a big disparity, that's $300,000 more. So like my castle trumps a little crib type of attitude. Now what I could see is where she might be willing to not compensate, but at least try to work with Nate as if she actually see a plan, not just, hey, these are my ideas, I like to do this next couple of years, but I feel like because she's so business savvy, she likes to see something more on paper that says, you know what, I can trust that he's gonna make or he's gonna grow with whatever he's doing in order to become at my level. I'm hoping, I mean, like, she seemed a little bit more sincere in trying to listen to him. She wasn't trying to what is the word I'm looking for? Put him down per se, or make him feel less than. However, when he was explaining that, I didn't get it either. I'm sitting like, what were you talking about with coffee? What is the math? What's going on with that? So, I think, I don't know, like, the girl make a lot of money. I'm not calling Nate broke because 150 is quite a bit of a salary. However, you do live in California, so I'm not sure how relative that is to over there. How broke is broke California broke versus 150 in Florida is a lot of money here. So it's gonna take some understanding to see, can this man get on my level? And if by any point between the next 8 weeks she doesn't see the effort, or at least a plan, kind of like where we needed Steve to give us the plan last season, we need the same thing. We need the same thing this season from Nate, so she could feel secured. That's my opinion.
I hear you on that. Crystal, what's your thoughts?
80 grand in ambition. That's what they'll get you. That's what that'll get you. 80 grand in ambition and a thought in your head. So 150 grand in California and San Diego is doing pretty good. Is doing good. She's doing outstanding. And but it had to be something to live in that. Okay. If he is living in downtown San Diego in that high rise, that would be maybe 250, 260, that apartment here in Atlanta. So in San Diego, that would be almost triple. I'm sure of it. So that's why when I saw that apartment, I said, no, that was before he said 150. I said that he's got to have at least made 150 at one point or another. He's got to have made some good money. So what's surprising me is that she said he far exceeds the number I gave you. So I'm like, if he far exceeds the number you gave him, did you want a house husband? Like, what were you looking for? Yes, we knew that she wanted somebody that was a little dangerous and she likes, the bad boys and stuff like that. But I'm questioning a lot. But I also know Stasha knows, as we've said before, as Seaway said she knows her pickings. She knows what, the caliber of men that she's met and the caliber that she's going to run into in California, or where she's at and where she's at financially and where she's at in her life. So, I just hope that I hope he doesn't disappoint her as far as the ambition's concerned, but I don't have any faith in that. So yeah, this whole conversation about money, I can see, this is what I also want to say about him in the 250. He wants to make more before he has children. Some men, a lot of men, Kojo, you spoke on this before, they want to get at a certain point before they get married, before they have children. They want to be in a certain point financially and with their career before they have children. Now, I hear what you guys are saying. He's not going to get to that 250, but he doesn't feel like he's in the place where he wants to be before he has children. That's what I think. That's it.
Fair point. Seaway.
Hey, y'all.
We'll love your opinion. Go for it.
Yeah, I had to chime in on this one.
I'm sure you did, Seaway. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first, I think it was said already, but I don't think that Nate makes that 150. I think that's a reach. I don't think he makes that. But even if he did, like it's been said, that's just not that much in California, especially not in San Diego. Certain places it may be. But yeah, I just didn't like that scene. I'm also not that type of like nitpicky girl, so I can't even identify to like what Stasia was doing, going all through his house, nitpicking all the stuff. Them glasses though took me out. The stained glasses or whatever. I mean, that did take me out of here. I could not believe that was there. But I just don't, this is just representative of what, successful Black women go through. Like, we got to be in this situation where the best you can do is a man who makes 150 at best, and even that's a lie. Like, I don't know. It's just, somebody said she should order her baby off Amazon and keep it moving. I think she should, because I don't know where this is gonna go. And I also don't know why we got to do this for production and get on TV and have fake conversations about the blenders and the steamers and the coffee makers of it all. Like when you make a $415,000, that means your checks are about $12,000. Cali taxes are ridiculous. So maybe 11K every 2 weeks. And that's being generous. It could be more than that. You can afford to get a blender, coffee maker, steamer at $700 whenever you want. That's not a large purchase for someone who makes that type of money per year. That's just not a large purchase. So I don't know why we had to sit through that stupid conversation, because that was just stupid. On top of the fact, as a person with a Dunkin' problem, my husband got me a Dunkin' maker and we did that for a little while and I'm still back at Dunkin'. So she should just keep up with her coffee problem and leave that little steamer alone, because you ain't going to give up your gourmet coffee. You just not. But that's a side note. So I'm not going to put that man down. I'm not trying to put that man down. Like, if he does make the 150, that's fine. But it's going to be, they're going to have to really get on the same page. And she's going to have to be really mindful not to emasculate him, because it may happen by happenstance, just by the nature of the, their financial differences. So they're just going to have to work that out. And I think him wanting to make 250 is him trying to hang on to the balls that he got left when he done with Stasia, because it's going to be emasculating, making a third of what your girl is making. That's a lot, Kojo, Sean, everybody. That's hard. I'm not going to call him broke. He's not broke. I think he's lying. I think he could be broke, but 150 ain't broke. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's hard being a black woman, a successful black woman. I'll say that, because this is
you go. Did you hear me say, because they were calling for you, so your timing was perfect. But I said, after I heard her salary, I'm rethinking it. She got a little baddie energy. I
don't want to hear that, because I said she was QB last week. And she came with the hair fluffed out. Ludwin called it out. Her hair was done today. Makeup was on point. She looked bad. The salary was bad. I've been called her a baddie, because I know a baddie when I seen one. Y'all was the one talking about
Look, it wasn't the hair for me that didn't. It was the money. You know what I'm saying? Because I just saw us on the beach in Bora Bora, because that's my dream vacation. I want to be on the villa, sitting right above the ocean. And that's what I want. So Stasia, we can get there. So, look, I can change my mind, and I have. And she can buy a whole Starbucks franchise if she wants to. So I wouldn't be fussing with her about no Nespresso machine. I have one. I don't even drink coffee. So we can use mine. We can get a new one, whatever you want, boo. I'm here for you.
You trying to get put up?
Bro. Listen.
I'm just trying to live, as Kojo says, soft life, right? So I just want to get to that Bora Bora. I want to get to Mykonos. I want to be on a yacht, and we could do some of those things. So that's what I'm looking out for. My next marriage, I want to marry it for some more fundamental reasons.
Definitely.
Kojo, they said she should date out.
I saw it by Godson. JJ Smith says, not sure if anyone already mentioned this, but 99% sure Nate's apartment is a vacay condo, Airbnb. Most likely rented it out a few months for filming. It's tough crowd out here,
That's what I'm saying. Why do we believe he's a day trader? Like, why do we believe?
Because you believe Steve. That's why you believe. So
no, don't get started. Okay. No.
Oh, you're accusing us not keeping the same energy. You're accusing me and Sean not keeping the same energy with your sister here, but y'all ain't kept the same energy with Steve. Okay?
I'm not going to go back and forth with y'all about Steve.
That's what I thought. Thank you. Godson said she can date out. She can do whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. She's married right now to Nate. So she can do whatever she wants. If she wants to go and date out, we'll let her go and do it. Okay?
Well, listen, she's halfway dating out with Nate. So...
You're moving mad. See where you get him.
Here y'all go. He didn't find her white king. She wouldn't have these problems.
Well, she got her half Asian king. She got a blazing king.
Nah, she need to go ahead and have her a white king so her kids won't be in there crying, talking about black kids don't want to talk to me. She could go ahead and dilute it so she ain't got to be crying. No more generation of bright tears talking about the black kids don't want to talk to them. You go ahead and dilute it and find you a man that make as much money. At this point,
she should do it. She should. I'm not gonna lie. She should do whatever she wants. Will make her happy. But again,
the king of no color, Jay.
She can do whatever she wants to do. Let her flow. Right now she's stuck with Nate though. Okay. But I would say, in all honesty though, I think. And I think, see where you alluded to it, she has to be very careful that she doesn't, by mistake, kind of emasculate him. I think that's going to happen. And also as well, you're asking, the gap between them two already is so big. It would take a monumentous turnaround to see him catch up with her. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that it's a very huge gap.
And Kojo, I think that's half the problem. I think that's half the problem. Because that's, I was just talking about that when y'all were on here. Your biggest earning years, if you're doing it right, is the gap between Nate and Stasia. Like, if you really putting in your work, if you did what you're supposed to do in your 20s, your 30s, you should be going up exponentially. And I think that's also causing the gap between them two, because she's 37. She's at pretty peak high earning years. What is he? 29? What is he?
34. 34, 32.
I thought he was in his 20s.
No, he's in his early 30s.
Oh, well, then never mind. I don't know. Well, he should be up in his earning years too, but still, it's still a big difference. Oh, he's younger than that.
It's gonna be tough. That's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be tough to do it, man. Do you know what I mean? Can she's a victim, and you know what it is? Someone said this key word. She's priced herself outside the market. It's unfortunate. You are a victim of your own success, Stasia. Okay, it's unfortunate. You are so fast, the competition can't keep up with you. You know what I mean? You're so far ahead, the competition can't keep up with you. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, that means that it makes it harder. And also, I personally think, like I said, it's so hard to turn off that winner's mentality, which comes with being in the male environment as well. That masculine energy that you use to win in the environment, to make business and to pull off deals and make money. It's hard to turn that off in the relationship. It's also hard not to look at somebody like, we're saying about like let's say he's having a rest day, to not look at him and go, why the fuck are you resting? Like, why are you resting? Like, you don't get to rest when you're only making 150 and I'm making 415K. Like, you want a baby, you're going to be resting. Like, of course, maybe she has some passive income, so it doesn't really matter as tough. Hopefully she has, but you're going to be resting for 9 months at least. So, in his head, can he keep the upkeep? Have you thought about that? Can he keep the upkeep? Can he do a whole year of her upkeep? Can he afford her upkeep for a whole year? That's another question. And that's why a lot of times as well, guys think about those things, because lifestyle is different. Your upkeep of lifestyle might be slightly different in terms of where we see ourselves. But Brittany hasn't spoken. Brittany, go for it. You said you wanted to contribute.
Oh, yeah. So like I was saying in the chat, I mean, even agreeing with you, Kojo, I feel like the disrespect is on its way, only because Stasia is not or women like Stasia is not used to giving up control. It's not easy, especially if you haven't worked on it, if you're not aware of it, and no one's told you about it, because we've seen her speak to her mom and her sister while she was trying on wedding dresses, and it was giving, it's my way or the highway, and that's not how it works. And honestly, if she said that she wanted someone that made 80K, and that was her objective, then she wants to keep the control in the relationship. That's just what it is. She's not giving that up, because she's not, number one, she's not used to sharing, just as a woman that is quote unquote independent, right? And I'm speaking from just experience of learning how not to be like that, because I do want to get married one day, and my marriage is not going to work if I continue to, be on the more controlling end of things and not being able to just allow a man to do for me and to depend on him. And Stasia is not used to that. Now, she may want that, but she has to work on it. And I think she does want it based on how she speaks, but she's not used to having that. And also, I don't think anyone's ever really told her to like tone it down a little bit. You know, because I would think her mom would say that to her. Like, my mom has told me that. Like, when I was younger, she was like, if you want to like be with somebody, you know, if that's an objective for you, you have to like just bring it down just a little bit. You know, nothing's wrong with you, but you just chill out just a bit, because it's hard to turn off the masculinity if that's what you're used to doing and operating in, especially working in corporate. You know, and it depends on the man you decide to marry to.
I'm hearing you strong, Brittany. Definitely hearing you strong on that. That's the bars right there. I'm hearing you. Crystal, go for it. Thank you, Brittany. Oh, sorry, you're muted, Crystal.
Sorry. Exactly what Brittany just said is the reason why she needs to start now. I know a lot of people are like, well, that's her house, but the stuff that they bring into that shared place, and he wants to usurp some of his personality, he needs to do that now, so she can get used to it, because she will not, it's not going to be easy for her to compromise. It's not going to be easy for her to listen to him and to not be controlling. So she needs to start now and just ease her way into it. And I hear what you guys are saying about, you know, pick your battles, but these small battles, that's where she needs to start, because once they get into the after this is all over, it's gonna be a mess. So she needs to start doing these little things now. That's what.
I'm sorry, Kojo, can I add? Somebody just mentioned, and I forgot about this, she literally emancipated herself from her mother. So I don't know what else to say from there, you know, and she didn't have a father in her life. So I get where Stasia is coming from. I'm not her age. I'm 30, but I get how hard it is to let go, especially when, you know, no one's telling you. But hopefully through this experience, she can see that, even if things don't work out, and then work on herself if there's something specific that she wants. Because, I mean, honestly, she's going to have to give up some type of control if she wants to be in a marriage. Kojo, what are you doing?
Huh?
Who are you flirting with through the chat? Because you're doing a lot, sir. I know you got the silk shirt on and everything, and the button up, your muscles is popping through.
Listen,
and I'm not even
Brittany,
mad at you.
Brittany, look, you know full well we got tickets to sell, so let him throw all his testicles out there. You know, just come on. You know, he understands the assignment. You know, we gotta lock up this meeting after this live. That's why he's rushing through this live right now. We need the event noir to go live, and we need all y'all out there who want to see all this good silkness, chesticles. He's gonna be singing R&B tunes for y'all.
Arms popping.
Get ready, all right? So buy them tickets. You can hold your super chats. You can hold all those super chats. We need tickets sold, okay? You know, we need to see them tickets sold. We need to run up so that we need to get a different space to hold this event, all right, when we reach Atlanta. So that's what we need y'all to do. Kojo, keep doing what you're doing. And Britt, you know what we need to get done, so don't get in his way, please.
My bad, Dad. You sound like more the PR person than I am.
Look. We've been in this. I've been pushing this since days of Underoos. You know, we need to get this going.
If anybody understands the assignment, I do. So
this ain't got nothing to do with no tickets. This is just Sean. It's a straight tap. Kojo doing too much.
Period. Where you at, Sean?
Thank you, Sean. It's effing for the ticket. Thank you, Sean, for saying.
Come on, they don't understand. You know,
they don't understand. They don't understand what we do, bro.
You don't have to do too much.
You know, like
us good-looking men are selling the tickets, bro. Us good-looking men, they were selling the tickets.
Buy these tickets as soon as they go live. But Kojo,
you know, we want the tickets.
When you bring, what are you wearing, Sean? You gotta do better.
Make sure I wear a proper shirt.
Yeah.
You need to do a virtual tour of your closet so I can help you get dressed before this because I don't know what that shirt is.
Bring the Jodeci boots with you.
This silk shirt. Please put in the chat what type of outfit Kojo should be wearing, and do not recommend this silk shirt.
No, you need to put the button down on because that's when it started.
This was Stasia.
Do y'all miss the bucket hat? I miss bucket hat Kojo though.
No. This is for Stasia. When she hugs me, she's gonna feel the silk press thread count.
Nah,
okay,
bro.
all right.
No. You don't do it. You come on. We need to pick one. If it don't work out, Stasia, you watching, and you saw the live last week. It was all cap. I had a bad week, so just forgive me. If things don't work out, I'm not wishing anything, poorly on your marriage. But if it just doesn't happen to work out, come see your boy.
I think
we do more than the 150. So let's meet up.
I'm more around her actual level that she said that is the acceptable level. So I hope Sasha can overlook that.
Bucket hat with the boots, the muscle shirt.
That's a throwback
look. Put this chat.
I like the bucket hat with the
cowboy hat.
Bucket hat with the boots.
I'm gonna need you as a bodyguard.
It's pre-COVID.
I still think he needs to be in Jodeci boots.
They're moving mad. Sorry, Brittany, I cut you off. Go on.
What was these outfit choices?
You're talking about Stasia.
Yeah. I was saying that she emancipated herself from her mom, and if this is something that she wants, because I think she imagines what she wants in her head, but she's not actually doing it because she's not aware enough to know that she's a little too independent, and that independence, we've all talked about this before. It'll turn a man off. So. And it depends on the type of man. I don't know if Nate is the type of guy that wants to be taken care of, like the feminine types, But I don't think Stasia wants that kind of guy. So if she doesn't want that kind of guy, she has to begin to change some things up. And it's easier said than done. But I'm tired of you, Kojo. What are you laughing at?
I'm focused on what you're saying.
The lies. I'm done.
So Stasia's obviously earned this amount of money. It's quite a lot of money. JJ Smith says one more thing: Stasia is not adding up. No 37-year-old woman that meticulous and controlling about their life decision is marrying a complete stranger on the TV. Well, she says she likes a little bit of a thug. So I guess this was the safest way to get the thug without all the thuggery that comes with it. You know what I mean? All the gunshots that come with it. So this is her way of getting a thug, Smart. I mean, she's still being meticulous and smart about it. She just wants to choose a thug that's not too thuggish, That's what she's looking to do. So I get it. She's playing her cards close to chest. Go for Lily when you want to say
something. I just want to say, we should name the tour Kojo, the Silk Experience.
Y'all need to stop. But go on.
Yo, that's a Lewin, you got a perfect idea. We could have a pajama party, right?
Yeah.
The ladies come out in little lingerie. We come out in our PJs.
Not the Christian followers in the lingerie.
Listen, even Christians need a lingerie party, okay?
You
even
sleep,
Christians
right? And you can't come out in public naked, so,
We'll read the Bible together. Don't worry about that.
We have on our silk raiment.
Okay.
Speak over this man right now in this chat right now. He's trying to
Everybody take a second. Reach your hand out to
Bible
the
study in lingerie. Please speak life over this man.
He needs to be delivered
over this man right now.
Do recitations from the Song of Solomon.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, bro.
No.
Thank you, bro. And do you not know the scripture in Ecclesiastics? Should two lie together? The warmth they can bring. Y'all don't.
Okay.
Whatever. See, you even see. It's even good that we're even talking. Iron sharpens the iron. You understand? As you quoted, you see.
I don't know what type of iron you got, cause.
Well.
Welcome.
This is my first time back on in a couple months. Y'all playing
Welcome
with
to
me.
you. That's it. Now you talking, Brittany.
See what? They doing too much.
Brittany, you cartwheel right into that one.
I sure did. I didn't even
Certainly
recognize
did.
it.
What do they say? Out of the heart speaketh the mouth, right?
The mouth.
You know?
Mm.
I don't know about all of that, but all right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sound sign of dark arts. Go ahead, continue.
I mean, I do.
Continue.
So if that was to be the theme.
I think it's a great idea personally. You know, I mean, if there's enough interest from that, I think we should consider having a silk party. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, why don't y'all just exchange numbers, WhatsApps? I don't know, and get it on, and just like continue.
Oh, we're just exchanging ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Great.
Oh, just exchanging ideas. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know Ludwig was going to be on the live tonight, so you know, surprised to see her on the screen. Anyway, okay, so let's see. So obviously, have we finished with Stasia? I think there was one more. No, I think that was actually cool. No, there was one more clip I wanted to show you guys. Conversation that they had about the kids, and then obviously about wanting him to share and be more intimate with the conversations that he was actually having with her as well. But let's just look at this.
You don't talk about your mom. That's the one thing that always chokes me up and like gets that lump in my throat and freaking makes me cry, right? Because there's so much pain behind that.
I totally understand what she's saying. There's so much pain behind that. Seaway, go for it.
Here's my thing about this situation. She is expecting, just because she is emotional and she has this pain and she has these like deep feelings that she wants to express, that he also has that. And I think it's hard for people to understand that some people are not masking things with their reaction. Some people are just they're either so numb that they don't realize they're masking it, or they really don't have an emotional reaction that you're looking for. And I felt like that whole scene was kind of unfair because she's expecting him to be her. And I think that's the hardest thing with marriage, is realizing that the your partner may be very different from you. You may have been suppressing pain, and you feel better that you emotionally express it. And now that you got it out, you feel great. He maybe 10 years ago has darn near forgot about this. Like in his feeling, he doesn't have that emotion. So she's like mad at him for expressing something that he doesn't feel like he has. Now, I'm not saying if he goes to therapy, maybe he'll realize that it's suppressed deep down and his numbness is actually a feeling. Maybe he'll get to that point. But she's talking to him as if he's being secretive from her. And I don't feel like she's not understanding him. And I think if she does this with multiple type of situations, they're going to bump heads. Because they're not going to have the same reaction to everything. So yeah, that's just how I felt. I think she needs to be more patient as well. Because a lot of times it takes a man a longer time to open up and be emotionally vulnerable. And it seems like she wants to microwave his vulnerability. And that's not going to happen just because she cries every 2 seconds somebody brings up hot Cheetos. Like that's her. That's not him. So I think she needs to have his, a little bit more patience. And Black Tornado said he is very guarded. Yeah, but his guardedness may be years deep, 10 years deep, 15 years deep. I'm not saying he's not guarded, but when you're talking about someone who may have suppressed his whichever parent wasn't around, that may be so deep embedded, his sadness that may exist somewhere, that it's gonna take them more than a week on Mafs to get him to open up about that. That may be something he has never opened up to himself about. So it's going to take patience for him to open up to you about it. That's all I'm saying. So you can't force that vulnerability And if you really want someone to be vulnerable with you, you're going to have to show them that it's a safe space and be patient. And I don't think that conversation showed that. And that's all I'm saying about it.
Yep. And Seaway took all the words like right out of my mouth, period, because you can't force somebody to give something that they don't know how to give, number one. And Nate don't even know her like that. Just because y'all married does not mean he has to automatically open up. And just like Seaway said, you need to create a safe space. Especially, I don't want to say especially, but for men in particular, because I understand that sometimes women, we can take things and throw it in someone else's face. Sometimes, not just us, but just people in general who are like that. And you're expecting so much from somebody just because you're the type of person that's just willing and open to share. I mean, clearly when he was sitting with Stasia's mom and sister and he was talking about his dad and then hit that one point about his mom, which is where the issue lies. You can tell he ain't ready to go there yet. Like, there's a lot that has to be unpacked there, and he has to do that with someone who can take him on a journey of unpack what's happened since he was a child, how it started. Like, that's something where you got to start at the root and you have to dig that up, and you have to be willing and courageous and brave enough to go there. I don't know if he's ready to do that yet. Because he literally broke down crying about his dad and how his mom treated his dad and how he didn't get that love from his mother when he saw her. That's hard. And his mama Asian? Oh, and that's nothing against Asians, but I have Asian friends, and I see where with their parents, the emotional disconnect is there. And it's hard for me to watch. And they want that from their parents. And I feel bad because I get it from my parents, but well, my one parent at least. But, you know, Stasia has to come to a place of understanding when it comes to her husband, especially. At this point, I don't care about anybody else, but they have their own bubble. And when you get married, you become one. You cannot force him to speak on something he's not ready to speak on yet. And if he's not giving the emotion that you want, then that's too bad. But at least create a space where at some point gradually he can begin to open up to you. Because if she keeps going in on him, he's not going to open up at all. She can count that out if that's going to be the case. And he's going to keep running to his friends that she was looking at kind of crazy because they so close. So I would start with his friends, honestly, if she really wants to find a way in.
I agree that 100%. Good breakdown as well. Yep. Find a way in. Create a safe space. I'm hearing you. Go for it, Crystal.
Someone in the chat actually just took what I was about to say, just took the words right out of my mouth, that the more she opens up and the more they start to talk and like peel some of those layers, then he will as well. She cannot force him to do it. And him saying that he doesn't have any emotions, she knows that that's not true and that he is really hiding. It's not hiding, it's down deep, and that it's not going to be very quickly. It's not going to be immediate. He's the one that asked, so what's your biggest fear, when they were in bed and they're talking about the being bullied and stuff like that when they were kids. I shouldn't do air quotes, but so it was going to take him some time, and you cannot force him to do it, and you got to relax about it and let him go through his process and opening up. And something Brittany just said, he was crying to her mother and sisters or friends, and they're complete strangers. So it's there, but she's going to have to, make him feel comfortable enough to open up about it. So he felt comfortable enough to do it in front of her mother and stuff like that. So, but it's in there. He does have emotions, and he will be able to open up to her, but she can't force him. She's got to open up herself, and that's it.
Big points hearing that.
Kojo, can someone remind me what question did the mother ask him that he had that response to? Because I'm trying to see if it was a similar question, because I think it was a bit different, but I can't remember the question.
I'm sure it was a little bit different. Then she just asked I'm sure she just asked a genuine question like, what's the relationship like with your family or something like that? And she asked something like that. Because I think at first she was asking about her dad or something like that. The parents asked about the dad or whatever. And then
she asked first, what's the relationship with your dad? And he said, oh, I have a great relationship with my dad. He's in the military and stuff like that. And then she said, well, what about your mom? And I think he said, I really don't have a close relationship with my mom. I saw her, we saw each other like at a birthday party, like a couple of years ago, or we saw each other in passing. And that's when the waterworks started to come, and he, got really quiet.
Can I add something, Kojo? Here's the thing with the difference between Stasia and her mom. Stasia's mother has a softer approach. Stasia just kind of goes in for the kill, kind of. Not, I don't want to say for the kill, but it's really, I don't want to say aggressive, but her tone does come off that way. And it's like, it has the undertone of, I need it now. Like, I need you to tell me. Like, almost like forceful. But when you noticed and watched her mom, it was just a comfortable conversation, and she has that thing about, I mean, she's a mother, so it was easier for him to probably identify or want, be able to open up to the energy she was giving him. But you just got to look at the difference between Stasia and her mom. Like we said, she emancipated herself. Her mom is married. I mean, two different women. Honestly, I mean, even though that's her daughter, but she has her own way of doing things, just like her mom does. And her mom's not going to tell her what to do. She's a grown woman. Mm-hmm. But you can tell when she sits down and talks to her mom is kind of looking at her like, but then asking a question, kind of implying, well, don't you think this will be a problem? And then Stasia is like, well, if he don't want to do it my way, then I don't know, type of thing. And that's where Stasia just has to kind of pull back a little bit with that. I like her. I think she's a great person. Same with Nate, but they both have their issues. And even when it comes to both of them being vulnerable, Stasia has her daddy issues. And then with that, I'm sure when it came to her opening up to men, she probably felt like they would take advantage of her feelings, so she didn't want to open up. That's just me assuming. So when you got two people that are like that, it's going to be kind of hard. So they kind of have to meet in the middle if they want to do that. But that takes time. And they may need some assistance with that.
100. There you go. Ludwin, we haven't heard from you. Go for it.
Is this day 6 into the marriage? 6 or 7?
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah, there's a couple of days in.
I think it's a little early to try to go and dive deep like that, to be honest. I think there's still room for them to still have that fresh new relationship feel, and just having surface level conversation, or at least just getting to know on a basic level versus trying to dive so deep. I know that she brought up the whole let's go to therapy during the honeymoon, which is a great aspect of what you should be doing. At least marital counseling is a great tool, but I feel like he's not ready. The same way all the ladies have said. I don't think that would be the case at this present time. Maybe a couple months in, I'm going to be a little bit more open to the idea, but she also have to be a little bit more feminine as well. The same way Brittany was saying that, the mom is giving more that nurturing feel where he was comfortable there. But in order to get someone that comfortable, you have to feel that you are also receptive to what they're going to say. Because they kind of had a simple conversation about this in the bed when they kind of went over what she went through as a light-skinned or mixed kid. in what he went through, but it felt short. I didn't feel enough emotions in that conversation they had in the bed. So I couldn't get into their hardship that much. I'm like, oh, okay, well, your dad was missing, but I didn't really feel that much connectivity when they were sharing in the bed. So when she brought up, like, girl, we just got back from the trip, like, chill. You asking me, like, I don't talk about my mom? Like, I just met you a week ago, ma'am. I literally just met you a week ago. And you want me to talk about my mom so often? Like, we were on vacation, sis. We were in a whole different country, living it up. I'm not going to bring my mother on our honeymoon. And I think it's a little too early to start having such deep conversation about our traumas. That does happen a lot to people who went through therapy and they want to diagnose other people. That's not your job. You can't just go around trying to make someone just become, like, force vulnerability is not the key, and I do see that might be an issue when she wants to force a person to do what she says ahead of time, and that might be an issue during the relationship where he's like, okay, so girl, you're doing too much too early on, so he might back off the same way. What's Lindy's husband name again?
Miguel.
The same way Miguel backing off. You know what I'm saying? If you do a little too much too fast, it's like, all right, come on, pump the brakes. So that's energy that I'm getting at this time. I wish them well. I don't see it.
Fair enough. I hear that. Definitely hear that. Yeah. You guys have all made great points around that. I think, with Stasia, she's wanting to have that intimacy with him, but I think she lacks the finesse. I think her mum's got that kind of emotional intelligence, and I guess her mum sees that in her daughter, that she's a bit more rough around the edges when it comes to these kind of things. I think Stasia wants to be able to get close to Nate and have him close emotionally in their intimacy, but she just needs to learn how to ask questions. Like, a question she could have asked there would have been, what would make you more comfortable to talk and share, your feelings with me? You know what I mean? Like, but she went into, you got to share it with me. It's like you're demanding and requesting as if you're in a boardroom once again. That's not how it happens in a relationship. And that's that thing I keep telling about Stasia needs, that she turns it on, like the boardroom effect in the relationship, almost to bulldoze her way through. Like in a boardroom, you're trying to win. In a relationship, you are not trying to necessarily win. You're trying to complement one another, and you're trying to grow one another. You're trying to have an interchange of ideas with one another. And it's unfortunate because with Stasia, I don't think has clocked that just as of yet. So if she can work on that, she'll be okay. But trying to get him to share immediately right there and then, like, babe, that's not how it works. And also, I think he could use. I think he can benefit from some therapy. I think he can benefit. I think some therapy will be very good for him, because I think if he starts talking about his mother, he'll make it easier for him to actually open up to Stasia in future as well. I think right now, if you're asking these questions, you're probably one of the first people, Stasia, that would have heard some of the stories you're going to tell about how he feels about his mother. And, that takes a bit of time, a bit of trust, and that takes a bit of space, takes a bit of, allowing him to come to you. But I don't know if she has the time and the patience for that, but yeah, she'll see. It will come up in the later episodes, I'm sure, about his vulnerability to her as well. Okay, let's get the last clip on, because it was interesting. Okay,
come here. Sit down.
Bad dog. That was one clip, and the other clip that we want to play as well, okay, is let me see if I've got the clip where that dog bites Actually, I don't think I do actually. So we'll have to do this.
Just like he knew how I felt about Newton.
And that's why I wanted her with me. That's why I'm really upset.
So I want to get your thoughts on what was going on with, this particular episode with Justin and Alexis. The whole dog, I can't lie to you. His eye was mashed up. I thought I looked at his eye. I said, "Damn, you got munched." That was a quick little bite from Maya. Maya's out here moving mad. I need her to relax. Literally came at the dog differently. I know some of you are obviously pet lovers, so you'll be able to talk a little bit more about this in terms of the mindset. But honestly, that dog went and bit the eye of that poor dog. Newton almost lost a dog, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, so I want to get you guys' thoughts on that as well. Okay, pet lovers, talk to me. I don't like pets, so.
Yeah, Kojo, come on now. Like, Seaway was nearly in tears, and when Maya had to be put away, it definitely, when the little dog got his eye munched, thank God that's all it was. I was so thankful that it wasn't, a worse bite.
You get
I got caught up in the emotions, I caught myself.
Tommy Bahama, it's messing him up.
It's actually express. It's express, but
okay.
They told me I looked like I was wearing a lab jacket, So I said, let me lose the outer layer. So But long story short, yeah, I think there was a couple of rules and that interaction that didn't go well and weren't planned out properly. One, when two dogs are meeting, both dogs should be on the leash. And they also, it's not good for them to be in an unfamiliar space. Because dogs are like territorial animals, and it was a very new space for both of those dogs. Better outside and better both on a leash. And then the thing that really aggravated me about Justin, and this just spoke a little bit about his planning and the way he thinks about things, he left off some details. And unfortunately, Maya has gotten into it with other dogs before. So if you know that your dog has a propensity to kind of yap, it's not a good, it's not going to be a good mix. And then also, Alexis's dog was significantly smaller than Justin's dog. So when there is a size disparity, similar like we saw with Nate and Nate and Stasia's income, the big usually come for the smaller. So a lot of times bigger dogs, that will trigger their prey instinct. Right. So you saw that in the first thing when the dog snarled and you saw the teeth, that it gave you, and most dogs, if you know their body language, will give you a warning sign. Most of them, unless they're extremely aggressive and then they just come out the gate wild. Right. But the dog did bare its teeth and snarl at the other dog. He should have been watching his dog. And so as soon as that happened, get the dog out. Let's not see how they're getting to know each other. Once a dog growls, its body language, how it was behaving, it's back was up, not a good sign. Get him out of there. So I think Justin mismanaged that situation. And truth be told, Alexis should have also had her baby, because you can't call it a dog, right? Her baby should have been on a leash. And what is Kojo drinking in that wine glass?
Oh gosh, now he's got the wine glass. What happened to you?
Now with the silk shirt. Oh, Kojo, you really trying to trap somebody out here?
He is telling tickets, y'all, for real. Okay. So going back to what Sean just said, yes, both dogs should have been on a leash. She brought that dog in there and she just left him off the leash, and it's like his house now. But you saw how Justin had his dog pulled back on the leash the whole time. That dog got in a stance and he started to growl. I said, this dog is about to lunge. So they both should have started to gradually had them both on the leash and started to like introduce them to each other, but they didn't do any of that. And then she's like, after the fact, oh, how do they get along? We should have Googled it. Sweetheart, you should have done that before. sometime before this, right? But even though I'm sure she heard the growl, I'm sure she saw that this dog is not, he's not playing too friendly. She should have put her dog back. She should have had the dog on the leash, at least to introduce them to each other. And Sean's right about either having them kind of in a neutral area to let them like play and be more comfortable with each other. Dogs are very territorial. Justin's had that dog since he was 5 months old, or I'm sorry, no, 5 weeks old. That's the only master he's known, and there are new people in his territory. So that's not, that dog was being a protector. But Justin did leave things out, and Justin wants to be all, oh, it'll be fine. He lives in a place of fear that if I tell her that the dog has had some issues, then she's not going to want to integrate everybody. And she's like, oh, it'll be fine. Nothing's going to be wrong. And no, you need to just say that Maya's been not so easy with new dogs, and maybe we should think about this. He should have been honest, but he lives in a place of fear. He really wants this to work, and I honestly think this is probably what's happened in his previous relationship. He wants this to work so bad that he's going to him. I thought it was no big deal. I thought it would be fine. I underestimated my dog. You didn't underestimate. You knew. He's known that she's gotten into issues before with other dogs, but you just, because it's Alexis and you don't want to discuss it, you want to give her this hearts and flowers idea of everything being perfect. You're not going to talk about it. I also think, and I said this earlier, Justin needs boundaries. If you saw how annoyed she was, and she said, she didn't even say, no, I don't want you to go with me. When she said, just leave it there, stay with your dog and your cat, and be there when she gets back home. By the time, hopefully she's cooled off. But she did right. She needed to get on the phone and get that dog taken care of, because he could lose an eye, because that dog could have lost an eye. So he needed to just let her go and cool off. So yeah, that was wrong. She shouldn't have taken that dog off the leash. It's a new place, and that's like, Justin's got a dog and a cat in that efficiency. That his place, and we haven't gotten into that yet, but that may have been 300 square feet. I think it was about probably 350. Really? You're 6'8". Do better. And speaking of filth, I'm sorry, last thing. Speaking of filthy, Justin, clean up your place. Put a new bedspread on your bed. You know your wife is coming by. That's it.
Well, I don't have any pets, but I love dogs. I've been around enough pets to know how they act. And I used to be terrified of dogs, but I'm cool with them now. We good. However, I understand that dogs are territorial, especially the big ones. And they're the most scary ones. So I don't know. When I was watching, I'm just thinking, I mean, in my own mind, and I don't have any pets, and I never owned any except for a goldfish, I would have at least got a trainer. That's just me on my thinking level. I would have gotten a trainer to bring them together if this was going to be something. I know that's a bit extreme, but that was the first thing I thought of, especially after seeing how the dog attacked Lil Newton. I think that's his name. So yeah, I don't know. And then Justin, like y'all said, he does need boundaries, because as soon as somebody says I'm good, you need to leave him alone, especially her, because he gonna push her and she gonna open up that mouth and she gonna say something that he ain't gonna like, and it's gonna hurt his feelings, as sensitive as he is. And what she says may not even be that bad. He's just sensitive. So you can't, I don't know. Sometimes with Justin, it's almost like you got to walk on eggshells with him, depending on the conversation and what the situation and what it's about. Because even when he was talking to his own brother, he was getting just so riled up. I think this is very disrespectful, with the laser eyes beaming back and forth to each other. Yes, Kojo and Lubwin. I don't like it. It's very disrespectful. At least put your cameras, like turn them off. Y'all so rude. I ain't got time. I'm done. This was the most like unprofessional day. Thank you for my welcome back. It was rude, but I appreciate y'all.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Y'all having fun, so I ain't even mad at you. But you're doing the most, Kojo, with this wine.
My PR machine will respond in the morning for you guys. My PR machine will respond in the morning. Okay.
I'm done. I've said what I needed to say. But Justin will get his feelings hurt if he don't leave that girl alone when she say leave her alone. Especially after something like that happened. And he knows how much that dog means to her. Just leave her alone.
Yeah.
And she got to take some accountability too. Because she should have never... She got a tiny dog. Tiny dogs are feisty. So, and then big dogs, they're scary. So, I don't understand. But, yeah.
I agree with that. I'm so sorry. My dog is 5.5 pounds and she thinks she's a Doberman and she's not.
No, I think... Oh, so go for it, Siri. Sorry, go for it, Siri. Please. No, please go for it, Siri.
I was just gonna say this episode was probably the saddest Married at First Sight episode I have ever watched. I was just sad all the way around. Like when her dog got nipped at his eye, that first made me sad, and then seeing the dog in the little cone with the bloody eye, it was just traumatizing for me. It was really hard to watch, especially because I just feel like you should be just extra careful with new dogs, especially with size differences, as it's been said. And I just feel, and I guess that's probably the guilt that old girl felt later, is that you shouldn't put either dogs in harm's way because dogs will be dogs. And that was just kind of frustrating to see. But what had me almost crying is when he took Maya to that Feed the Children cage, jail, detention center. I could not take that. I had to log off. I almost shed a real tear. Then the dog started crying, and I'm just like, and this is the bull crap I'm talking about. You caging Maya because you don't know how to act. You're the owner. Cage yourself. You already know what Maya is and what time Maya be on. You gonna take Maya around that little dog. Don't do anything. You supposed to be watching for the tails wagging. You supposed to be monitoring the situation. Now Maya got to go to jail. And now Maya crying and you leaving Maya in jail?
She old enough to take the crime. She old enough to
No.
They said Maya's in death row in the chat.
No,
see what
Alcatraz.
No. I'm sorry, I have to say, Justin was
I thought the same thing though. Anyway, I said Mavs is wrong for that because there's been plenty of times to go for training and you did not show us the cages.
I didn't need to see that cage. That was
I was
and the dog crying.
You never seen Alcatraz either.
And you could tell that he ain't never had Maya in no cage. Now you gonna take Maya to a cage in a desert where other dogs are barking. Doggy Supermax, right? Black Tornado. That was really traumatizing for me. I don't ever
want to do a quick bid. I needed to do a quick bid. He was like, look.
Upstate.
That's it. They said she was locked up, won't let me out.
I'm like, you got one dog with a bloody eye in a cone.
No.
And one dog in jail. Like this is just too much. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. People will end a marriage over these dogs.
Yes, they will.
If she thinks that he's getting rid of Maya, she has another thing coming. I don't care what he done told her. People ain't giving up their dogs. People will put their dogs over you any day, all day. I'm talking about people they know. So if she thinks he gonna give up that dog to save that marriage, I feel like they're gonna be tussling over them dogs. So somebody need to figure something out. But Cage and Maya, when you the fool, pissed me off. And also putting your smaller dog in harm's way around a fool and his dog also pissed me off, because now that baby got a bloody eye and a cone and Maya in jail. That really just upset me.
But ain't the dog whisperer out there in California, Seaway? Where's the dog whisperer? Caesar. Ain't he out there? I thought that's
who
what
knows? They didn't call him.
That was a good time to do a collab. Get the dog, cue the dog whisperer, and help good old Maya out. But
at the end of the day, the people at fault here are the people. They know better. I don't even own pets. I would never, ever bring dogs around each other that have never been around each other like that. Not in a small space. Even if it's just to go outside in a dog park. I've seen too many issues happen at a dog park. Like, no. And that's not to say I'm afraid of what's going to happen. However, they're animals at the end of the day. Like, I think they so stuck on like cloud nine in their own little headspace that they thought their dogs was just going to cuddle up. Like, they feel the same way as their parent. So let me cuddle up with my new brother or sister. No, boo. That's not how it works. They're animals. They don't think like that.
No, he knew. He knew because he said it ahead of time, and that's where I fault him. Is because he knew, because he was saying leading up to it, he was like, trying to tell her, he's like, I don't kind of know how this is all going to work out. I don't know how they're going to get along, So he was already nervous, and what he didn't do was the full disclosure, right? He just gave her a little bit of information, but not enough to really set the standard, which, again, I hate to be so, traditional in mindset, but like, it's up to you as the man to set the standard, right?
I was just about to say that.
If you know that your dog, one, is not the most friendly of dogs with other dogs, right? You should already be thinking ahead. Two should really be one. Anytime you're introducing two animals, you need to be conscious of how they're going to interact. And mind you, I don't know, we forgot about the cat that was roaming around. Thank God that cat didn't get into it with the dog, because cats and dogs don't get along either. FYI, I think that's not a news flash, right? So I think we had so many moving parts. It was just poorly planned. And I'm just glad that all it was, the poor little dog had to get, or the baby had to get, because I don't want Alexis coming for me, had to get its eye stitched. Thank God that's all it was, because it definitely can go left really, really quick with dogs. So I'm just fortunate, and anybody that knows, I got my Abby. I love her.
We love Abby.
That's it. So it definitely touched at me a little bit, but I don't agree that Maya should be locked up. She should not have to do a bid. She's doing the time for Justin. She's taking his bid, and that's, already she's covering for him. Justin got all the ladies that are covering and capping for him, and this is the problem. He needs to, own his stuff and have a plan.
This was the scheme that Todd set up, because I think Alexis didn't want this man crying anyway. So she gonna use these dog situations as her get out of jail free card, and we're gonna have to hear about Justin's irresponsibility about this dog for the rest of the season, when whole time she didn't want this man anyway, so she done sacrificed her dog.
I mean, she skipped him on Tinder.
Now her dog eye messed up all, so she can run the dog to the vet, so she can say Justin was irresponsible, so she can get out this marriage without looking like the bad guy. She ain't fooling me. This is all a scheme.
No, she wouldn't set up her baby now. She wouldn't set up.
I don't know, Sean. She not really feeling that man the way she's putting on.
I'm not saying, I'm joking about that, but I am dead serious though. She knows good and well that he doesn't want to give up this dog. So if she says give up the dog or stay with me, she knows it's gonna be a problem, and that's her get out of jail free card.
She's definitely looking for a reason. She's
looking for a reason.
She's looking for a reason. I don't know if she would set up Maya though, because not Maya. I'm so sorry, Newton. And somebody said the other night that it's so interesting how she has a boy dog and Justin has a girl dog. We've been talking about that for a couple of weeks now. But you got another thing coming. If Justin is going to give up that dog, I totally agree with you on that. Seaway. He has had that dog at 5 weeks old. And he may have said that to her to placate her because she was upset at the time. But and he'll try to get the dog trained. I think he should have just given the dog to his brother or whomever for a couple of weeks. So because that's somebody he trusts and that he knows that he can go and see the dog and everything until he can actually acclimate them together. But Alexis calling that dog a baby and everything, I said, that's another level. That's another level, Justin. And she even said, if he doesn't get rid of if this happens again, if he doesn't get rid of the dog, I'm leaving him. That's it. Because she's looking for a reason. You must not be. And that's another thing I was saying last week. You want to say how much you love him, and I got a good view, and all of this hearts and flowers things. It was way too quick for you to say. As soon as Newton got bit, I'm done. And so I just you don't love that man, and you shouldn't have said it last week. You shouldn't have been all over him, all up in his chest when you knew you weren't feeling it. So yeah, and I agree. Don't be sacrificing these dogs. The dog in a cone. When Maya he shooed her into the closet. I was like, this. You shouldn't have done this in the first.
That was so sad. That wasn't right. That wasn't
his
right.
Dog. If you willing to put Maya in a cage, what you gonna do to me?
Right.
Like, I just don't trust. I wouldn't trust. I don't know.
That cage.
I view my dog as my child. So if you really finna get rid of your dog because of some girl you met 2 days ago, I don't trust you. You may put me in a cage.
And you know what? This shows an even bigger issue with their relationship.
I'm serious.
This shows a bigger issue with their relationship. Like, you know how she's always saying, I will protect this man. And he don't say nothing after that. He just sits there. It gets all mushy. And that just shows the fact that if, like Sean, you mentioned, he didn't put his foot down about the fact that Maya is the way she is. People with big dogs know how their dogs are. When people come around or other dogs come around, you know the personality of your dog. So you know better. So why would you even allow for this to happen? So the bigger picture is with their marriage. He don't make no decisions. None. It's all her. She making all the decisions first. I keep forgetting her name. But yes. She the one that's protecting. I don't know what he's doing. He loves her though. He'll do anything for her.
But notice though, he's not quite ready to give up the dog. It's just, again, this is just another sign that Justin doesn't know how to make a firm stance. He was hemming and hawing because remember when they were sitting down and Alexis made the statement like, oh, he said that if things don't, if the training doesn't work, then he's willing to get rid of her. And he was like, well, no, I've had her since she was 5 weeks. So for me, what I get with Justin, he's passive. I don't even think he's passive aggressive. He's just a passive person. So he's the kind that he ain't gonna get rid of the dog. He's gonna try to keep it in another room. He's gonna try to negotiate. Let's keep it 2 doors down at my best friend's house. Let's give it to Ben, my new BFF that I cry for his sorrows. He gonna try to do something. He gonna try to finagle it some kind of way. But he ain't giving up. Seaway, you can trust. He ain't giving up that dog. Trust and believe. The dog has ESA paperwork. That dog is his support animal. Listen, I just got my dog certified because I don't want to pay near more fee for having a dog. So I have my own reasons. So anyway, I'm done.
I think all these dogs are emotional support animals, though. That's the crazy part. Like, these dogs are truly people's emotional support animals, especially through this crazy behind pandemic. So I just couldn't put no dog who probably got me through the pandemic in no cage like that. But I do agree for Mavs, honestly, these new relationships are stressful enough. I think people should find a temporary place for these pets, because this is not the first time people have been beefing over pets. It was the cats in the bed, the dogs in the bed, crazy, Vaca and her racist husband. They was beefing over the dogs and the pets and the cats of it all. Like, for the 8 weeks, y'all need to find some place for these pets and animals so y'all can figure out if y'all can get along. Because these pets are like adding kids before you know each other, and it's complicating everything.
I have one thing to say. I agree with Seaway. These dogs are emotional support animals. But going back to Kristen's dog, the dog from Little Nicky, if my dog had asthma, I don't know. I couldn't do it. That was so funny. I just hope, because I understand Mitch.
You talk about dogs with breathing issues, because Bambi get to breathing and sounds like a big old grown ox in the bed. So don't get Jay going.
I can't stand Mitch. I said, I hope that
dog's got a right to breathe.
His tub was dirty.
And those pugs, that's the Men in Black dog, whatever that kind of dog is, they have constricted esophaguses and windpipes, so they always breathe funny.
Yeah, I need dogs to sleep silently. I can't be doing no dogs and no asthma now. Even for me, I got my limits. If you
a dog with asthma, I said, that dog's gonna get on Mitch's nerves, and I hope he does, because I can't stand Mitch.
Now, what I do think is ultimately your dog should be trained. And that's the one thing when I got my dog brand new, straight from the breeder, right to classes, we signed up. Now, it started with my whole family and ended up with me by myself going to the classes for the first, 8 weeks. But I think it's so important to get your dogs trained. So important to socialize them, to teach them how to interact with others, because you don't do that, you're risking it. People get sensitive. I know my dog is a dog, right? They're animals. They have animalistic instincts. Dogs are going to dog. So you need to learn how to train them, teach them what to do, and that's it. And I love Bambi, Jay. I didn't mean to be disrespectful, so I apologize. Bambi, my heart, goes out to you. We go back, so no disrespect.
No, Sean, you're absolutely right. Dogs do need to be trained, because I'm thinking about getting one, and the type of dog I want, it needs to be trained.
It needs to be.
There's a lot of owners I know that are afraid of their own dogs. That's because they're not trained properly. I've been watching a trainer, and the amount of training that goes into a dog, big or small, it's a lot. It's literally like having a child. So I don't think a lot of people know what they're getting themselves into when they do decide to get a pet.
And just the fact that dog was in that stance and about to lunge, and of course, bit her eye. I said, this dog has been cooped up in that efficiency with Justin and that cat. He needs to be acclimated with other dogs and be around other dogs, be able to play with other dogs, because if they're not, they won't. They get angry, and they don't play well with others if you don't acclimate them as soon as you can, and as much and as often as you can. So,
look, if you lived in the hood, that stands from a dog. Run and hop over a gate.
Yeah.
Okay? And make sure it's high enough.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys gave a good perspective on these dog things, because I really don't see it. But it's good that you guys got that perspective, you know what I'm saying? But I really appreciate the perspective you guys gave. It was sad to see the dog get chewed up in the eye. I think personally, accountability don't miss around here. People need accountability. I'm so sorry. People need accountability. You do the biting, you do the time. Okay, you do the biting and the fighting, you do the time. Okay, Maya, you knew what you were doing. You had a choice. Okay, you saw little Newton, and you decided to chew. Okay, all right. Justin had you on a leash, and you decided to bite. Okay, so now you got to go to Alcatraz for a little while, go and learn a few tricks and trade. Okay, learn how to behave appropriately. You might even need a bit of solitary confinement. Okay, and come back into the fold. All right, and learn how to behave. Okay, All right, it may have been maybe Newton was prodding and poking. Maybe Newton was poking the bear. Maybe Newton was slightly manipulative underneath the seams. Who knows? But either way, you can't react like that in public, Maya. I'm sorry, okay? And we do accountability here, even for dogs. All right. So unfortunately, Maya needs to learn that this is an unacceptable behavior as well. So if that means 2 weeks training camp, you're lucky you're getting community service. It could have been worse. It could have been so much worse. So a little bit of community service doesn't go a harm. Go and learn some skill for 2 weeks. Come back into the fold and be in the house. You know what I'm saying? As for as for Justin and Alexis, she's a runner. She's a track star. She is looking for any excuse to get out of there to a bolt. My girl said, "Listen, how this made me feel was like I'm ready to run." Listen, Sis was talking about how easy marriage was, but how quick she was to say about the Maya to get rid of Maya. Baby, if you know what your dog means to you, what do you think the dog means to old boy here too? Like it's common sense. Like your dog means a lot to you. So there's no way that of course I know he said, and the thing about Justin is he says things and didn't think it through. Saying he's gonna give away Maya if it happens, sir, why? Why would you say that? Should have said, listen, look, do you know what? Maybe that's a bridge we can cross when we get to that time. We'll see what happens. But you already know, bro, like, you love your dog like he's your child. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate. It's almost like having two parents of two kids. Your kid, unfortunately, punches the other kid, and it's like you feel really bad about what your kid did. Do you know what I'm saying? And I get it. It's painful to see. Hopefully, like he said, Maya needs a second chance. Okay, all right. Maya has a history. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how many strikes Maya's been on, but in America, for you guys, on the third strike, you know what happens on the third strike, right? As for here in UK, you can keep on doing the crimes until you go. But when it gets to the third strike, you know what happens. So Maya, this is the first one that we've seen personally ourselves. Okay, but the second one, if that happens, and the third one happens, babe, you gone. Okay. I don't want to see that for you. Okay, so you got a second chance, and I think rightly so. It was a mistake. Newton's in a little funnel thing. I think they should be reintegrated slowly. It's done properly this time. So I mean, look, I'm just saying. Listen, but it's dogs can get it too. You know what I'm saying? Someone said Maya's got a rap sheet. The
Maya had Newton like she was a rag doll. I'm sorry.
But the bite was so quick as well. It was just like 1 minute it was just like, listen, yo, whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. Next thing it was like, bam, bam, bam. I said, oh, what the hell? Like, yo, Maya's a little bad dog though. So wherever she came from, she definitely came from them streets. What are you saying, Sean?
He had the dog since she was 5 weeks old.
Yeah, from the streets.
Yeah,
kind of so life.
I think it's just dogs are a reflection of their owners. So if he has not properly trained her, if he has not told her where her place is, and you heard him, he was like, Maya's an alpha, is Newton an alpha? Two alphas don't mix. First of all, alphas work for animals when they're in a pack. Right. So if your dog is an alpha and it's just you and your dog in the house, that means your dog is running you. Now that is wherein lies the problem, because the dog is running you. You should be running the dog, and hence the issues and why she lashed out, because she does not follow the orders of her owner. She does what she wants to do, and that's emblematic of how Justin is gonna run his marriage and his relationships. He just lets the chips fall where they may, a little soft, please don't do that, da, da, da. That's not how you have to talk to a dog. That's not how you train a dog, especially if you have a dog that has a little more of an aggressive personality. They need structure, they need firm commands, and none of that, unfortunately, he had. So look, I am, just call me the dog whisperer. Send me Maya. Look, we'll be right at it. I'll be like, sit down. Y'all be hearing me on the Afterlives. I don't play with Abby. Sit down, come here. Yes, no, stop. It's none of that.
Okay, relax.
We don't, yeah, I don't,
I know the ladies were listening to us like, what a man, he knows how to command the dogs.
Well, you could come out and see me. I won't be bringing Abby on tour. Sorry, I'm not that guy. My dog does not come with me everywhere. When I go, my dog stays somewhere.
Abby's on that couch when he's gone.
When I'm out of town? Oh, no, she's not.
The lie.
Hey,
Abby be doing whatever she want in that house.
Okay, Britt. We'll see you on tour, okay? We'll see you on tour, Britt.
I just want to just play this last little clip,
What's going on?
Well, one, I feel like a crappy owner for sure. Like I should have.
No, I didn't even mean to add that extra reverb. I don't know where that reverb came from. Clearly, the Lord is trying to do something because that's not me. That's a reverb that was added somehow. But he in tears again. I don't know how many episodes in a row we've seen this. This guy is consistently crying. Consistently. Now, I know he's an empath, but this is too much for me. I'm sorry. This is way too much. It feels like something's not quite right. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a little kid, man. And also as well, what he said to her, like saying he wanted I think he said he wanted another chance for himself and Maya. Like he wanted another chance or whatever. I think I've got a clip here.
I just need you to keep your word, because you said if it doesn't work out, you send it her. I know that's your baby, but you said it to me. I need you to keep your word, okay?
I did, but I also be aware that like it's not going to be an easy decision.
I know.
Okay, I don't think I have that clip, but that's what he's saying about it wasn't going to be an easy decision. But yeah, I think to myself that, you know what, for him, he honestly, I just feel like he's too soft. I think, Crystal, you said it's about boundaries. It's a problem with him because he's willing to go with whatever was, like he's too eager to go with whatever Alexis is trying to say. You know what I mean? It feels like he's almost, that's his first girlfriend ever. And like, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing, and the girlfriend's kind of like, he loves her so much that because he's brand new to it, but you're not brand new to love, so I'm confused by that. But this is why your brother said you are not ready. That's why he called you a little beach. I'm not even trying to play around, but that's why he called you that name, because it's the boundary issue. You know, I don't condone people saying that. I don't condone anybody saying that, but I'm just saying, Ludin, unfold your arms.
But I know we spent so much time on Doggate with Justin and Alexis, but this we talked about every couple, whether they did it or not, and I still don't know if, you know, Alexis put that good on them.
I wouldn't do it.
They haven't
done it. She's withholding. Yep. Now if he didn't get it,
he would fall.
The is definitely on a long pause.
I think that he lives in a place of fear, and this is why anything that he just says stuff to get along, like, oh, I'm just gonna tell her this so everything will be okay. But I also think that he's not new to love, like you just said, Kojo. But I think that this is what's been happening in his previous relationships, that he'll just say whatever, and then the women don't really know who he is, and so they're like, no, I'm done. They keep him around because he's so nice and sweet. This is what happens to him.
It's like, if you listen when he speaks, it's almost as if he's speaking in a question mark, because he wants the acceptance in what he's saying. I find that very annoying. And yes, people pleaser. Somebody, Alana, I don't know how to say your name, honey, Curry. But yeah, I don't know how she's dealing with it, because that's too much. It's a lot that he's doing. And I don't mind a sensitive man or a man that cries. Like, I don't have no problem with that. However, he needs to control it just a little bit. Like, it's like when you was watching him in the clip, it was like watching a little boy that just got yelled at by his mother, wiping his tears off. And that's, I don't want to say it's unacceptable, but Coach, shut up. I don't know. Their dynamic is it's very opposite. And don't let Justin get to the point where he was with the way he reacted with his brother with her, because I don't know how she gonna act. Because I know me, you start doing all that. That's like me with my students. You want to start having a temper tantrum? I'm gonna be like, you done? You all right? You finished? You cool? You want to go over there and relax for a second and then come back? Because I don't know how else to treat that. It's literally like dealing with the child, unfortunately, when he gets that way. Not all the time, but yeah. Y'all two in these eyes, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. Like, just get on a Skype call or whatever y'all gotta do and just stare at each other. Because this is unprofessional, but continue.
I was Sean, you're on mute. Go for it, bro.
Oh, I was saying just leave them be, just leave, it's, she's feeling the vibes. She's got the silk shirt on tonight, just let it be what it's going to be.
I'm used
we
to
got a tour coming. By the way, Brittany, give me 2 seconds and then I'll let you go at me. We have a tour coming. Please, please, please. We need your support. Little Black Book is coming to the States. Long awaited. He said it would never be done, but it's being done. We need your support, guys.
You see why I don't listen to what Coach will be talking about?
Now back to you, Brittany.
Ever.
See, wait, why?
I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. What was I about to say, Sean? I think I was about to say something to you.
You about to talk about this silk shirt?
I don't know. But either way, yeah, Jasmine is over it at this point. She was over it when he first said, "I love you." I would have been too. I was like, "What? You sure?" Okay.
Who's Jasmine?
What's her name? I don't know. What's her name again? We at the point with Mav, like, I don't remember.
I was with you for a second. I'm like, who the hell?
What's her name again?
But Brittany's just adding people.
Alexis. But I said she must remind you of Jasmina, so I let it go.
No, she don't remind me of Jasmina. I just came up with a name for her because honestly,
that's so funny.
At this point, Mavs is just like it's becoming like just too much at this point. So I just make up names for everybody. I know what they look like, but that's Newton's mom.
We didn't come to Chicago because y'all
vacation
because Chicago's been disrespected. We weren't even put on the poll. That's how
Seaway said it's not safe for me to come there. She said it's not safe
That's
for me to come.
Definitely not what I said.
Seaway said it's not safe for a brother like me out there.
And y'all don't drop Chicago in the chat, so he don't think we around. So.
And listen, somebody said all these Chicago people on the panel ain't but one.
Ain't nobody from Chicago. Well,
Ain't
I'm
but
sorry.
one.
I'm not be disrespectful. Seaway is from Chicago.
That's it.
Right. And I count for 3. And I count for 3.
Well, yeah, you got energy of 10, but you are.
Yes, I do.
Let them know.
The tour's in October. It'll be dropping probably tonight or tomorrow, you guys. So look out.
Yep. They're dropping the tickets for you guys tonight, tomorrow. Okay. I think that is it. Yep. That is literally, we've come to the end. But before we do end, obviously, guys, like we said, we have got the tour coming up in October. I'm going to be in US from the 1st to the 17th of October. 1st to the 17th of October. So I'll be from the 1st to the 6th. I will be in New York, 1st to the 6th. I know. When I actually put the ticket, I realized how long I'm going to be staying in America. I was like 17 days. I'm gonna need more money from you guys. But anyway, listen, 1st to the 6th, I'm gonna be in New York, and then 6th to the 13th, I'm gonna be in Atlanta, and then the 13th to the 17th, I'm gonna be in DC. And I know that obviously DC people are very angry at me because they've told me I'm only there for a short while. So if you are in DC, come tear my shirt early because I won't be there for very long. All right.
The smallest state. It's the smallest state in the union. What you supposed to do in DC for? Be there for a week and do what? You can
go to U Street
for the whole state in one day.
Just go to U Street. You'll be fine.
You know, I'm mad. Listen, when we come, maybe if we do next year, we do the second tour. Then we'll visit some other places. I know Florida people hit me up as well. They wanted me to come there, true. And Miami, I haven't done that either. Dallas, I know I haven't gone there either. So there's quite a few places we can hit maybe on the second tour. Do you know what I mean? We'll come around in different places. And listen, even Canada's calling me, but maybe not for you guys. But Canada, I want to hit Canada, But all in all, yes. So yeah, we're going to be from 1st to the 17th October. We are going to be dropping the link for the tickets. I think in a couple of days. So not right now, is it, Seaway? It's a couple of days. We just finalize one or two things.
Hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, look
hopefully
out
by
for
tomorrow.
it.
Yeah,
that's the plan. Tomorrow.
My money's ready. So Yeah, so hopefully we should have the link for you guys tomorrow. If not, by the end of the week we should have it, because everything will be sorted by then, for at least Atlanta, and I'm working on DC as we talk. So listen, you know, we're gonna want you guys to come out and have some fun, some jokes, some laugh, entertainment, you know, and make it a good time, you know, that we can come together and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? So. Someone said I stayed in Ghana the whole winter. I'm in Ghana the whole winter again. So, listen, we're going to be there. If anybody's in Ghana this year. Are you in Ghana as well? So you in it?
Yeah. I told you.
I love how y'all
Listen.
make plans and didn't tell me nothing like early
Folks.
on. I could have made them plans to come.
You can still come, Brittany. There's still time.
Brittany,
Guys, you
I got
can
a
still
ticket.
come
You
to
can
Ghana
still
this year.
go.
Oh,
Sean, there's
All
time.
right, Jasmine, don't get worked up over there. It's okay.
I'm not even calling you
Sean, relax with your wannabe silk shirt.
Wait, ain't that the relax?
Relax.
Cotton, baby girl. There's no silk.
It's
here.
cotton.
Whatever. It's a wannabe.
Handpicked. Handpicked.
You do look like
but
you
yeah.
got muscles in that shirt, though. I ain't gonna front.
Yes, Sean is looking good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yes, we will be there. Well, I don't know about DC, but I'll be at the other places. So.
Yeah, I'll be there too. I'm trying to go to all the spots.
Okay. We like it. All right, so watch out for more information, guys. We'll drop it. But listen, it's been amazing tonight. Thank you, guys. You came out 500 strong. And we appreciate you guys always turning up for not just myself, but for Sean, Ludwin, Seaway, Crystal, Brittany. We also had, I forgot her name, Miata. Miata, thank you, as well. So listen, we always would encourage you guys to come aboard as well, because it's good to have your guys and show your face and chop it up with us on the panel. But listen, until next time, we'll be back here on Saturday night. I might have one or two people from Ready to Love as well come through as well, so a little bit special fun and stuff, you know, just have enjoyment time for Ready to Love. What are you gonna say, Brittany?
Free Maya.
Allow it. You are moving mad. Maya's not getting free. She's at least doing 2 weeks upstate. 2 weeks at least upstate.
No, that
Ain't
had
getting
me so
out.
sad. Not gonna lie.
Why are you getting sad for somebody who deserves to be in prison? Do you get sad for people that commit crimes? Do you get sad for people that commit assault?
This is
I'm sorry, when you're
It's a dog.
That's that irresponsible with your dog, and you know your dog. You need to do the time for your dog.
Yeah, he need to be in that cage, not
There's
Maya.
no law. There's no law.
Because when
There's no
Maya
law
come
like
out that cage, she's gonna be a different dog. I guarantee
Yep.
you that.
Well trained. You know what I'm saying? A little bit
This
PTSD,
is why you don't
but well
deserve
trained.
any pets.
I'm just saying, well trained. If that dog commits a crime, it's because it appreciates the dysfunction it's been in. It wants to go back into the 3 steak meals a week. That's what it likes. Three square meals a day. It likes that kind of functionality. You know what I'm saying? If it goes back, it likes that dysfunction. Okay, because it's got a safe home with Justin. It's got a nice little warm bed and everything like that. But if it wants to go back, hey, you know what I mean? What can I say? You know what I mean? We wish you the best, Maya.
That's rude.
Oh, if Maya was here, probably chew the shirt off anyway. You know what I'm saying? Uncouth.
All I know is Maya better be out of jail next episode, or I ain't fooling with them.
Maya
better be out of jail next episode.
Anyway's gonna send a cease and desist. Make Maya part of the freedom. free Maya.
Freedom.
Stop it.
I did not play. That was very upsetting to watch. They could have cut that whole scene.
They really could have.
They did not have to show that. I want to know what happened.
We did not have to see Newton get chewed up like a rag doll. I'm sorry.
Not either.
Yo, hey, Newton got boxed. It was a quick one too. It was just like, "Arr!" It was just so quick. Like, it's not like he held up. It's not like she held up. It just was like, "Arr!" And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
and then it's
nip.
only after.
But then Justin said nothing. He said, "What happened?" He said,
"That's the
nothing.
problem with Justin. Justin too didn't say anything. He was acting like it was all normal, blood. You know what I'm saying? That was, you know, Maya's dangerous. She's like that person on the that does a quick shoot, shoot. Maya's that one that does a shoot, shoot. You know the ones that, and they walk off. They just go shoot, shoot, and they keep on walking. And it's only like maybe 5 minutes later where the guy goes,
like Ghost in Power.
Yeah.
No.
I've been stabbed.
Shoot, shoot. And then he just like,
She need to keep that poor baby away from Maya though, because that could have been her eye.
like honestly could have. Like I was scared that
Could've
I'd be
been his
hanging out
eye,
the
yeah.
thing. like it's the mask.
Joe,
But
let's wrap this up because you are. We're gonna get Peter on you because you're getting out of control right now.
Yeah, my bad, guys.
The
listen,
UPR and the timekeeper.
Yeah, no, I apologize, guys. Sorry. Listen, guys, it's been amazing. It's been great. I said, watch out for the link for the event as well. We're definitely going to be seeing you in October time as well. But we'll see you on Saturday night. We'll see you again. So we'll be back here again Saturday night, 7. I think it'll probably be 7:30 CST time or 8:30 EST time for Ready to Love episode. Listen, that episode, I'm telling you, the episode is wild. And I can tell you the next few episodes, you lot are going to freak. It's dangerously lovely, good stuff. So anyway, listen, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. You know I can't leave you without a fellow brother making it nice and warm and friendly for you guys. It's always good to end on a friendly note, isn't it?
And baby girl, I hope you got the feeling. Vision's blurred, but all I see is you.
That was mine with Newton. So good, listen, appreciate